We welcome you to ESPN College Football presented by McDonald's. Coming up, the 32nd Labor Day Classic. Prairie View A&M as they host Texas Southern. And we welcome a brand new stadium to the Southwestern Athletic Conference's beautiful Panther Field, along with former Florida State offensive lineman Forrest Conley. I'm Mark Neely. You saw empty stands there. Trust me, folks, they're going to be completely full a little bit later. 15,000 seats here. It's going to be a lot of fun. First chance to open a stadium. There's only one time. You only get one chance to open up a new stadium, and this is tonight.
Well, it's tonight. The fans are excited. The teams are excited. Everybody's raring to go except the weather.
Yes.
The weather does not want to cooperate. So, as you said, we're in a standstill right now, but everybody's here. They're under the stands. They're coming out. The lightning strikes. They go back in, so they're coming out again. So, we'll see what happens.
Here it is, 5 o'clock local time, Central right now. At about 4:15, a storm came through, some rain and some lightning. It wasn't a heavy storm, but enough with the lightning. With the way the protocol is, anytime there's a lightning strike within 8 miles of the stadium, we have to wait at least 30 minutes before we can resume any activities. So they had a lightning strike within 8 miles of the stadium about 5 minutes ago. So just tentatively, we're looking at about a 5:45 kick, possibly 5:45, 5:50. So that's where we are right now. We are in a weather delay here at Prairie View A&M. The 32nd Labor Day Classic, though, coming your way shortly. For now, though, we'll send you the college football final and review yesterday's action and preview all the upcoming matchups here in Week 1. Well, the rain has stopped. We've not had a lightning strike within 8 miles of this stadium within the last half an hour, so activity is teeming. We're getting ready for the first ever game at the brand new Panther Stadium here in Prairie View, Texas, as the Prairie View A&M Panthers hosting the Texas Southern Tigers in the 32nd annual Labor Day Classic. Glad you could be with us. It looks like, keep our fingers crossed here for us, that we're going to have football kickoff right now, tentatively 17, 18 minutes away. But we're going to see the opening of a stadium against two teams that are about, an hour, 15-minute drive apart, rivals, Texas Southern and Prairie View A&M. This is a big deal in this part of the country.
Well, it's a big deal for recruiting purposes. You talk about vicinity. These teams are very close. And you talk about the anticipation of playing. Everybody played yesterday except for a couple of ball clubs. Yeah. So these guys have been waiting to get on the field. Finally, the day has come. Then you get a weather delay. Then you get another weather delay. So these guys are antsy. They want to get it going. You see the guys out there warming up. I think it's about time.
I'll take a look at the Prairie View A&M Aggies wearing their purple uniforms. Want to open up this new stadium in style. For 66 seasons, they played on this site at what was Blackshear Field. Last year, they moved to Waller High School a short distance away. Tore down Blackshear Field last year. They built this beautiful facility, and about $65 million later, this is what we have, and it's pretty impressive for us.
You see the fan base excited about it. It's a beautiful facility. If you get the opportunity to come to Prairie View to witness and be a part of what they're building here, you've got to come. It's a beautiful facility, and I can't wait to get it started, Mark.
Can't wait either. This is a Prairie View A&M team that last year not only led the SWAC in points per game, they led the entire FCS. So this should be fun to see what Trey Green, the fifth-year senior quarterback, and the Aggies have in store. And Texas Southern with a new head coach, Michael Haywood. Really, it's a new start for their program as well.
Well, it's the art of the unknown with Texas Southern. We talk about what Coach Haywood brings to the table, his experience at Miami of Ohio, his experience playing for Lou Holtz, being assistant coach with Nick Saban. You know he brings a lot to the table. He turned that Miami of Ohio program around. We expect him to do the same thing here at Texas Southern.
And it's a Prairie View A&M team that was 8-2 last year. They only lost one conference game, and that was to Grambling State. And they were very impressive last year, almost made the SWAC championship game. They are excited to see what they can do in the second year of their head coach Willie Simmons' tenure.
Well, they're excited. They know what they bring to the table. We talked about Trey Green. You've got a lot of talent around him. He's matured. He not only depends on his athletic ability now, he is a student of the game, and we should see that this afternoon.
All right, they're giving us a kickoff time about 15 minutes away, so we'll meet you back here. Until then, college football final will return to that. Football just around the corner from Prairie View A&M. We'll see you shortly. Welcome to ESPN College Football, presented by McDonald's. The weather now cooperating. We've had about a 55-minute weather delay. Just about ready for kickoff for the 32nd annual Labor Day Classic between these two great rivals. Texas Southern taking on Prairie View A&M, the first ever game at brand new Panthers Stadium in Prairie View, Texas. The crowd is ready to go. So are we. We're chomping at the bit due to this delay. Along with former offensive lineman at Florida State, Forrest Conley, I'm Mark Neither. We're ready to go. Chomping at this bit. These fans are ready. $65 million spent for this brand new stadium. They got their money's worth. It's pretty nice.
Well, they've got their money's worth. You look at the field, AstroTurf. You look at the premium seating for the fans, the students, the alumni, the faculty, us. We've all been waiting. Now it's time to finally get started.
They set the bar high now at Prairie View A&M with this extremely impressive facility. It seats 15,000, and we're looking at a sellout here for this first ever game at Panther Stadium. And they celebrated a year last year. Prairie View A&M led the FCS in offense. They were 8-2 overall, 8-1 in conference play, and a big reason for that was their quarterback Trey Green, who returns for his senior season.
Well, Trey Green relied on his athletic ability last year. He's become a student of the game. He has the run-pass option. He is very critical as to what this high-powered offense with Prairie View A&M will try and do this afternoon.
And they face their rival Texas Southern. They have a new head coach, Michael Haywood, also a quarterback, Jake Kristoff, who redshirted last year, but he takes charge behind center this year.
Well, Kristoff is a big kid, 6'4", 210. He's got a strong arm, and Coach Haywood talked about him having some escapability as well. So it'll be interesting. It's the unknown with this Texas Southern ball club that we'll see this afternoon.
So it's about an hour, 15-hour, 30-minute drive from the Houston area where Texas Southern is located to here in Prairie View A&M. And after the 55-minute weather delay, we're set to go for football for this first ever game at brand new Panther Stadium.
When you talk about anticipation, Mark, all of these guys have been sitting around waiting. The team that comes out with the most energy is the team that I look for to try and make something happen.
Eric Medina to kick off for Texas Southern. They're the team in white with the maroon trim. Prairie View A&M will be in the purple uniforms with the white helmets. Joshua Simmons, Arthur Lockett back deep for Prairie View A&M. And here we go, first ever game at Panther Stadium. Lockett from a yard deep will bring it out at the 15. Brought down at the 18-yard line. And the tackle on special teams by Demetrius Johnson, number 21 for Texas Southern. So that's where Prairie View A&M will take over for impressive quarterback Trey Green, fifth-year senior from Beaumont, Texas. Last year forced 21 touchdown passes, only 3 interceptions.
And Prairie View wants to get started fast. If you're Texas Southern, you've got to be ready to platoon defensive linemen into this ball game. That's where the game is going to be won, at the line of scrimmage. Which line can get pushed? Can the defensive line get pushed into the backfield? Can the offensive line get pushed into the secondary players of the defense?
Javonte Ham and Joshua Simmons in the backfield with Trey Green. Now motioning out of the backfield goes Simmons. Handed off. Ham breaks a tackle, gets up to the 26 before he's brought down. Quick 8 or 9 yard gain for redshirt junior, that is Javonte Ham.
When you talk about impact players for Prairie View A&M, it's the ex-receiver Kadero Hart, 6'2". He has the power to beat up defensive backs on the outside. And Damon King, the defensive end for Texas Southern.
Simmons with the catch all the way down to the 21-yard line of Texas Southern. This is a hurry-up, no-huddle offense for Prairie View A&M, and Green got him right back to the line, and there's a 52-yard reception.
And you see the speed of this Prairie View A&M ball club. You see the offensive linemen already back up, ready to go. They pulled the guard out. They got good blocking. They gave Trey Green enough time to get the ball down the field. You see the pinpoint passing by Green.
Zafir Murphy was the man in coverage on that play, and that's Trey Green, the quarterback. The rest of the offense had run all the way up to the new line of scrimmage at the Texas Southern 22, and Green is down back at the 32-yard line of Prairie View A&M.
And on that play, I think what you saw was a delayed blitz at the end of the play. Trey Green stood tall in the pocket and released that football. But a lot of times when quarterbacks release the ball and they get pressure up in their face, the contact, they leave their midsection area wide open for contact. So if we can get a look at that play again, you may see Trey Green getting hit on the backside of this play with his arms up in the air. He's wide open for the defender to get a good, clean shot on him. You see him right here drop back. You see the defender coming. You see he's wide open right there. A lot of times quarterbacks can't protect themselves. We hope that maybe he just got the wind knocked out of him.
That was Jamal Lucas, the middle linebacker, put the hit on Trey Green, who under his own power, good to see, goes to the sideline. But as soon as he gets to the sideline, squats down again.
And not that you want to hurt anybody from Prairie View A&M, but if you're Texas Southern's defense, you want to get hits on their quarterback, on their specialty players.
So redshirt freshman Jalen Morton comes in to take over at quarterback for Prairie View A&M. They have a first down, the 22-yard line at Texas Southern. It's handed off. Hand was hit in the backfield, broke the initial tackle, but he's going to lose a yard or so thanks to Jarius Moore, the will linebacker, who came up and made the stop.
And Jamal Lucas made the initial play, the initial hit on that play, and he's been, involved in the last two plays. I think Prairie View A&M has to do a better job of locating Jamal Lucas, someone the Texas Southern coaches identified to us as a guy that goes extra hard. They had to call him out in practice to slow down.
Second down and 12 after a loss of 2. They fake the jet sweep. It's kept by the quarterback Morton, who does get across the 20 to the 19. So he picks up 5. Damon King, one of the big defensive ends for Texas Southern with the tackle.
And as you watch this Prairie View offense, they have a lot of moving parts. That's how you confuse defenders.
Well, Trey Green has come back into the game, so the redshirt freshman Jalen Morton, who was making his collegiate debut, a couple of plays, but I'm sure Prairie View A&M fans happy to see Trey Green right back in there.
And if you watch Texas Southern, they're walking their linebackers up into the gaps. They want to confuse the offensive lineman. If you can make the lineman think a little bit prior to the play, you may be able to get a big play on defense.
On third down, complete for the first down catch to Kadero Hodge, one of the starting wideouts, the junior from Mississippi. 28 catches a year ago for Hodge and nearly 500 yards receiving. His first catch of the year goes for 9 yards and a first down right at the 10. Green to the end zone, well covered that time, looking for Hodge once again, but Zafir Murphy was right there.
And Murphy did a good job of not getting his hands on the receiver. A lot of times when you have a young player like Murphy, who is a true freshman starting in his first ever collegiate game, they get nervous, and when the ball is in the air and they get their hands on the receiver. So that's a good job by Murphy.
Second down and goal for Prairie View A&M. First possession of the game. Had about a 55-minute weather delay before starting here for this first ever game at Panther Stadium. In motion comes Joshua Simmons. It's hand off, right up the middle. Javante Ham, who got hit hard about the 8-yard line. Jamal Lucas there, number 27. You mentioned Lucas for us. He led them in tackles last year.
Well, Lucas is a guy the coaches continue to call out during practice, and they have to talk to him about slowing down. He plays full speed every play. Prairie View A&M has to find a way to block him.
Third and goal from the 7. Prairie View has converted on their lone third down opportunity on this drive. They led the SWAC that is last year, converting 44% of their third downs. Green looking left, now looking right, has a defender in his face and just throws it out of bounds. Incomplete, fourth down.
That was a good job by the defensive back, Zafir Murphy, coming on the corner blitz. You cannot allow Trey Green to get comfortable. They did a good job on that play, not allowing him to set his feet and go where he wanted to go with the football.
Michael Haywood, who's the new head coach for Texas Southern. The flag.
The quarterback was in the pocket, and there was no receiver in the area. The penalty carries loss of down at the spot of the foul. 4th down.
So grounding on Trey Green. He was not out of the pocket, as you heard the explanation from referee Roderick Holloway, and just threw it away. So that's going to push him back to the 19 and make this a 36-yard field goal attempt for Owen Houlihan off the right hash and out of the hold of Kristen Russo. Kick away, and he missed it. So Houlihan, who was 4 for 8 in field goal attempts last year, his long of 39. This is a 36-yard attempt, and Prairie View A&M comes up empty on their first possession of the season.
And if you're Texas Southern, you've got to be happy with your defensive stance. You gave up a big play on the second play of the ball game, but the defense was stout. They did not give up any big yards after that, and they got the missed field goal. Now, offensively, you've got to control the pace of this ball game.
You know, that intentional grounding call may have been very big, pushing Houlihan a bit out of his comfort zone. There's Jay Kristoff, junior quarterback. Texas Southern did not play last year. He redshirted. Guy with a big arm, though, runs well. They're really happy with his play at quarterback during camp. In motion, Austin Watts. Handed off, Brad Woodard to about the 22. And I think here, Forrest, we talked about this prior to the game. We're going to see two offenses, very different tempos. Prairie View A&M, once you get go, no huddle. Texas Southern, how much do they need to slow this game down to really give themselves a good chance?
They want to go slow, like Roy Rogers slow. You want to make sure you use as much time as possible. As much as you can keep Trey Green off the field, you want to do that.
Right now, there's several generations of youngsters Googling to find out who Roy Rogers is at this moment. There's a 2nd down and 8. Kristoff. Time to throw. A little out of reach of Mario Smalls, the tight end. And incomplete. Let's take a look at our impact players, and it features a very impressive receiver, Derek Griffin, who is 6 feet 7 inches tall.
Well, he creates matchup problems for any team that they face. He's a basketball superstar for Texas Southern, and he creates an issue. So I expect to see safety help over the top. And Devon Reed, the 2-time All-SWAC defensive end, he has a habit of playing in the opponent's backfield. You should expect to see him back there putting pressure on Kristoff.
Got Griffin manned up there at the top of the screen. On 3rd down and 8. Let's see if Kristoff goes in his direction. Look at that man. He's hurried and has to run. He does have the first down. Spun down and took a hard hit at the 33, but pops right back up. An 11-yard run for Kristoff. 1st down, and right there we see the other element of his game, how well he can run. Saw Arthur Lockett, the quarterback, go off the field for Prairie View and hold his back.
If you see, they got pressure on Kristoff from the outside, but he did a good job of stepping up in the pocket, protecting the football, and getting down the field, getting just enough yards to get the 1st down. That's key when he runs the football. Protect the ball, because you know the defenders will be pulling and tugging at it.
Safety Raleigh Johnson put the hit on Kristoff there at the end of that run. And Kristoff popped right back up. 1st down from their own 33-yard line. Hand off, Woodard. Across the 35 for a gain of 2 or 3. For Jalen Leviage, number 52, the middle linebacker with the tackle.
And this defense that Prairie View A&M runs is very difficult to scheme against. It's a 3-3-5. So what they're trying to do, they're walking their outside linebackers up on the outside. They want their ends to squeeze down so the tackles can be occupied by the ends, and they'll bring the linebackers off the edge. So the offensive linemen have to do a good job of pre-snap identification to try and know where the pressure's coming from.
Got Griffin in the slot there at the bottom of your screen. They finally get a defender on him. Kristoff blitzed off the edge. There's a flag. Shovel pass dropped by Austin Watts. Had he hung on to that, would have been enough for the 1st down, but you had the flag back at the 35 anyway.
Personal foul. Shot block. Number 24 and 74. Offense. Correction. Number 26 and 74.
The chop block called on Brad Woodard, the tailback and drew more of the right tackle, meaning one had the defender engaged high, the other low.
15-yard penalty, second down.
So it's a 15-yard penalty. He's going to push it all the way back to the 21-yard line of Texas Southern. First-year head coach Michael Haywood did a tremendous job in his 2 seasons at Miami of Ohio. Won the MAC championship back in 2010. Now in his first year back in his hometown of Houston, Texas with Texas Southern. Second down and 22. Line to gain is their own 43. Kristoff blitzed off the right side. Cannot get away from the tackler at the 20. That's Marquise O'Leary, who wrapped him up by the ankles, and a loss of 1. O'Leary is an impressive one. First team preseason all SWAC.
And if you watch right here, what they're trying to do, they're trying to bring these defensive ends up the field, and then you get outside linebackers coming up on the outside. What you want to do is get these tackles to react inside. Now you've got a free rein into the quarterback.
Coming up to make the tackle on Kristoff for a loss of a yard, so it's third down and 23. 3 minutes to go in this first quarter from his first ever game at brand new Panther Stadium in Prairie View, Texas. Kristoff, that ball's batted down, incomplete. Fourth down.
And once again, confusion by the offensive line. When you've got these outside linebackers walking up on the outside, these defensive ends are running stunts. They'll squeeze down, or either they'll come outside. When they're squeezing down, the tackles are reacting. So now you have the defensive ends coming to the outside. The tackles now react to the outside. You allow the faster inside linebackers to get an inside blitz up the gap, pressuring the quarterback, making him get rid of the football prematurely.
Travion Billings, number 44, the one that batted that pass attempt down. Eric Medina punting. At the 43, Anthony Wiltz coming to the near side. He's across midfield and tackled at about the 44-yard line of Texas Southern. So the return for Wiltz, and Prairie View A&M will have outstanding field position when we return to Prairie View, Texas.
To be a champion, you must win. 10 teams strive, but on Judgment Day, only one can rise. December 3rd in Houston, Texas. Be a part of the experience at the 2016 Toyota SWAC Football Championship in NRG Stadium. A champion will rise. Visit www.swac.org for more information.
Wow.
ESPNU College Football is presented by McDonald's. I'm loving it. And in part by Dr. Pepper. It's a college football tradition.
Midway through this first quarter, no score between Texas Southern and Prairie View A&M. This 32nd annual Labor Day Classic between these rivals, which have been playing since 1946. Second possession for Prairie View A&M. Their first possession resulted in a missed 36-yard field goal attempt. Green hands it off. Tucker gets free in the open field. He's tackled at the 26-yard line by Archie Rice. First carry of the game for freshman Dewanye Tucker, goes for 17 yards. Right back to the line go the Aggies. They want to hurry it up. Looking left, taking a shot. Green to the end zone. A little bumping there, and there comes the flag. Lestrap, the intended receiver, and Raheem McMorris gave him a little bump right there at the end, and that's what got caught.
And I'll tell you what, Raheem McMorris had an opportunity to make a play on the football. He got a little bit nervous. It wasn't a great throw by Trey Green. I think he could have made a play.
19 on the defense. The penalty carries half the distance to the goal. First down.
Well, first down for the Aggies. The penalty.
And Trey Green saw the receiver open late. If you watch Raheem McMorris, if he turns around and locates the football, he has a better opportunity to make a play on the ball than the receiver.
The penalty would be enforced 15 yards from the previous spot. First down.
And it's a 15-yard penalty. They weren't that close to the end zone for half the distance.
And that's something you see often with some of these young defensive backs. They get nervous when the ball is in the air. they don't turn around and locate the football. They have to do a better job, all defensive backs, of turning. That's one of the main things defensive back coaches teach, is when you're in coverage, turn around and locate the football. Even if you run into the receiver, you might avoid getting that call because you're looking for the ball.
Give it right back to Tucker. He fights his way to the 5. So a 7-yard gain for the freshman. Eli Nabushasi, right end, number 87 for Texas Southern, eventually bringing Tucker down. They can't get a first down without scoring. It's 2nd down and 3 from the 5. Green fakes the jet sweep handoff to Simmons, keeps it and goes straight ahead across the 5. He's close to the first down. Devon King, the end, with the tackle. Where they're going to spot that, it looks like he's going to be about a yard short of the first down, setting up 3rd and short.
And this is where you challenge your offensive line there. My 3 Ps for the offensive line: poise, patience, and punch. Poise to stay balanced and controlled. Patience, the calm before the storm, and punch. When you see it, go get it.
So 3rd down and 1 from the 3. Wanye Tucker still in there as the back. And looked like some motion right at the snap, so the flag came out. No play, even though Green mishandled the snap.
Prior to the snap. False start. 56 offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
And they got the left tackle, Josiah Freeman, who's 2016 preseason All-SWAC first team. 5th-year senior.
And that 2nd P, patience. You've got to be patient. Wait on the snap call.
So 3rd and 1 turns into a 3rd and 6 back at the 8-yard line.
Good count, T-Lone. Good count, JB.
Green with the long look to the sideline. Play clock down to 5. They don't let the play clock get this far down very often. Get it off in time with 2. Throw to the end zone, off the hands of Kadero Hodge. It wasn't a bad pass at all, and he got his hands around it for a moment, but incomplete, and it's 4th down.
And Hodge has got to make that catch. It was a little bit high. Trey Green put a lot on that ball, but Hodge has got to make that catch. Offensive coaches teach offensive players, especially specialty guys, if it touches your hands, squeeze the football. You got to high point it. He high pointed the ball, but he didn't squeeze it. You've got to squeeze the football.
Houlihan missed from 36 on their first possession. This time he hits from 25. So Prairie View A&M does get on the board here in possession number 2. Just under 5.5 minutes left first quarter. And the Aggies have taken a 3-0 lead.
ESPNU College Football is presented by McDonald's. I'm loving it. And in part by Dr. Pepper. It's a college football tradition.
25-yard field goal from Owen Houlihan has given Prairie View A&M a 3-0 lead. 5:25 to play in the first quarter. This 32nd annual Labor Day Classic. Labor Day Classic began back in 1985. They played every year since. Back in 1985, the first Labor Day Classic was played in the Astrodome in Houston. It's the first SWAC game of the season. The winner gets the Durley Nix Trophy. And though Texas Southern leads the overall series 21 wins to 10, Prairie View A&M has won 9 of the last 11 meetings. So the Aggies to kick off with their 3-0 lead. Houlihan to kick it away. Tyler Cook and Brad Woodard back deep for Texas Southern. This is Tyler Cook, who's going to let that bounce and take it right near the pylon. Returns it, hit it to 15 and knocked down at the 16-yard line. Tyler Cook's a young player, freshman from Dallas, where that kick went to the corner. I think he was kind of thinking initially for us, got to see if this is going to go out of bounds, but it never did, so he returned it to the 16th. So Jake Kristoff, his numbers so far tonight, has missed on his first 2 pass attempts, but has rushed for 13 yards.
And I think Cook did the right thing by getting possession of the ball and getting it up the field, because it could have took a crazy bounce, and you don't want to play with it that close to the goal line.
Woodard is the back with Kristoff under center. Second possession of the game for Texas Southern. Woodard bouncing off right side. Got a block from Griffin on the edge. Turns the corner, and he's across the 25 up to the 30 and a first down before he's run out by the cornerback Terrence Singleton on a 14-yard run for the freshman Brad Woodard.
And that was a good job by Woodard, seeing the play, seeing where he could get positive yards, planting that left foot in the ground, getting around the right side, and getting the first down for his offense. Plays like this is what pump your offensive line up. Although the line didn't block well at the point of attack, when your running back makes plays like that, it gets you going as an offensive lineman.
Woodard, I called a freshman. He's a sophomore. Last year in his freshman year ran for 368 yards, averaging a little over 5 yards per carry. First down from the 30. Back to Woodard. This time trying to go left, but he is immediately hit by Malachi Jean, a 6-foot, 350-pound nose tackle for a loss of 2.
And I tell you what, you got to see the big fella right there. You got to get hands on him. You cannot get a whoopsie-daisy with the big fella. You got to do a better job, because if you allow him to get back there and get on your backs, they're not running through him. They're not running around him. They're just going to run into him. Nice job by him getting penetration, wrapping up the back, and making sure he did not get any positive yards.
I called him 350 pounds. Our graphic says he's 365, and I'll go with the graphic. That's probably more realistic. Second down at 13. Hit as he throws. Kristoff underthrown as a result of that, but the catch is made at the 32 by Tracy Johnson. After 9 catches a year ago, there's his first of this season.
And you see the strength of Kristoff. He had pressure. He couldn't step into that throw. That was all arm strength, getting that ball down the field.
A gain of 4 on that last play, bringing up a third down and 8. Griffin is the receiver at the top of the screen. He is manned up with Terrence Singleton. Without a doubt, best covered corner. A good one-on-one matchup. Kristoff doesn't even look his way, but he's got an open man and caught for a first down at the 44-yard line. A 12-yard pickup for Larry Clark.
And what Texas Southern is doing a good job of is spreading this Prairie View A&M defense out. They went 4 wides that time, which made them spread out. They can't get all these exotic blitzes going on. When you do 4 wides, you predict what the defense does, because they have to put man on man.
First down for Texas Southern. Clock running, just over 3 minutes to play first quarter. Tigers at their own 44-yard line. Now you have Griffin at the bottom of the screen. And of course, he's manned up with Terrence Singleton down there. Kristoff hands off Woodard. There's a stiff arm that cannot get around the edge on the right side. Pickup 3. Travion Billings was the recipient of that stiff arm, along with Jalen Coleman.
And Malachi Jean disrupted that play. He got penetration on the center. Jimmy Williams not allowing the left guard, Corey Griner, to get around on the pull and get up in the hole. That's what you want to see. You don't necessarily have to make the tackle, but if you can disrupt what the offense is trying to do, you make the play.
Haven't really seen him look at Green at all. Got Green manned up again, bottom of your screen. Woodard goes in motion to the top. And Kristoff, design run, taken off, hit right at midfield. And he looked like he lost the football. But it is recovered by Brad Woodard, who was in the right spot for the Tigers. And Texas Southern avoids the turnover.
And that's the problem when you've got a quarterback running the football. They're not used to hits coming from all directions. Great football play to put his helmet on the football, get the ball out. You want to make guys that are not used to running the ball be litter bugs. So you don't want to have your quarterback running the football as often and taking direct hits like that. But that was a good job by the defender, putting the helmet on the football, jarring it loose.
And that defender was Marquise O'Leary, who's a 2016 preseason All-State or All-SWAC first-team selection.
And the coaches talked to us about him being the best defensive back in run support. And you see it right there, coming up and making the play. One thing about these Prairie View A&M safeties and corners, they will come up and they will put a hat on you. They're very aggressive. So as this game progresses, I look to see Texas Southern run some play-action pass.
Christoph fumbled that ball forward, recovered by Woodard, and that extra yardage was just enough for the first down. So the Tigers have a first down at the 46-yard line of Prairie View A&M. Tevin Jones now in there in the backfield along with Tyler Cook. Christoph taking a shot, going for Griffin. Touchdown. Well, he finally takes a shot at Derek Griffin, and the 6'7" wideout comes down with it. Touchdown, Texas Southern.
And Arthur Lockett, the defensive back, gave up the corner blitz too early. Christoph knew it was coming. Good job by Tyler Cook to protect this quarterback, and you see Griffin run right by the defender down the field. Easy pitch and catch.
And it was Raleigh Johnson who had the coverage on him. They had Terrence Singleton, the cornerback, locked up with Griffin, and while Singleton was locked up on Griffin, Christoph had really never looked Griffin's way, but that time they go in his direction with Johnson covering, and they get the touchdown.
And you see Griffin, he used his size, he runs by the defender, easy pitch and catch, easy score. Texas Southern up 7-3.
Ole Miss, Florida State, tomorrow at 8 on ESPN.
Monday Night Football is back with a back-to-back.
Monday night, baby!
So take everything you love about Monday night and double it. Double the anticipation.
Ready to go, Coach?
So how are you enjoying all these big-time games on the first week of the college football season? Well, thanks to the holiday tomorrow, it's not over. Monday, we'll have number 11 Ole Miss and number 4 Florida State, led by Heisman hopeful running back Dalvin Cook. Coverage begins at 8 Eastern from Orlando and also streams live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. 46-yard touchdown reception for Derek Griffin has given Texas Southern a 7-3 lead over Prairie View A&M. Minute 25 left in this first quarter, in the first ever game from Panther Stadium. Taken by Joshua Simmons from the 1 at the 20. Breaks a tackle to the 30, and tackles from behind at the 36-yard line. Eric Mitchell on special teams with the tackle. Here's the catch by Griffin, using that 6'7" frame well.
And then on this touchdown, if you watch the defensive back, Arthur Luckett, he walks here, he gives Christoph an eye. Christoph pays attention to him. He knows he's got a free safety on his 6'7" wide receiver who gets a free release, and he throws the ball. It's easy pitch and catch. When you're a free safety, you can't give so much ground because Derek Griffin is so big. You've got to get up on him, make him make a play. Even though he's a big receiver and he's got good hands, make him make a play.
Well, that's Griffin walking in the direction of the locker room. We'll see if he's headed that way. A hold on the return against the Aggies pushes him back to their own 10-yard line, which is where they begin their third drive. Their first drive resulted in a missed 36-yard field goal. Their second in a made 25-yard field goal by Owen Houlihan. Green throws, and the reception made at the 22. And just pushing that pile all the way up to the 30-yard line is Quentin Bell. Big 6'4", 220-pound sophomore wideout, using that big body for a gain of 20.
And Texas Southern is playing press man. You've got to jam the guys at the line of scrimmage. You can't give a free release, or they'll run slant patterns all afternoon.
Roach goes in motion out of the backfield. Green as the blitz picked up on the edge. The screen pass is caught once again by Bell. And he has another first down up to the 45-yard line before Zach Famajoko. Famajoko runs him down, but not before a 15-yard gain.
And now you're starting to see this Prairie View A&M offense get into a rhythm. Texas Southern has to knock it out of them. You can't allow them to get into a comfortable rhythm.
Green quick pass, a little low, but grabbed by Darius Floyd, but he can't do much after that. Looks like no gain for Floyd, his first catch. Under 30 seconds and counting to go here in this first quarter. See if they get the playoff in time before the quarter ends, and now it looks like they're going to use a timeout. With 6 seconds. Now the play is under review is what they're going to do here. The officials have stopped this. It's not a timeout.
This actually helps Texas Southern. It allows their guys to catch their breath. It allows them to go over and talk to their coaching staff. We saw 2 nice plays by Prairie View A&M. This allows them to regroup and think about what they want to do to get back to the defense that they played early in this quarter, where they were shutting down this high-powered offense.
And they want to take a look and see if his knee was down at this point before he advanced it up to what was the original line of scrimmage.
I think his knee was down. Now the question is, did he get up off of his knee when he got control of the football? From that angle, it looks like his knee's down.
So the ruling on the field is that it was a completed pass and then taken back to the 45-yard line. Well, the Prairie View A&M Panthers playing their first ever home game. We're at brand new Panthers Stadium. 6 seconds left in this first quarter. Texas Southern leading Prairie View A&M by a 7-3 score. If the call holds, then they got back to the original line of scrimmage. But if they ruled that he made the catch and the knee went down, he would have a loss of a couple of yards. This Prairie View A&M offense last year averaged 45 points per game. #1, not only in the SWAC, but in the entire FCS. They had 4 games of 50-plus points. Let's take another look.
Knee down.
Yeah, knee's down. He should be down at that point.
They were trying to find where to set the football.
Looks like he should be back about the 42. It's Roderick Holloway, our referee.
But once again, it stops the rhythm that we saw developing with the Prairie View A&M offense, and it allows this Texas Southern defense to regroup and try and slow them down. They want to win first down. If they win first down, it puts them in a position to make Trey Green drop back, and they know what they want to do defensively. First down is key for this Texas Southern defense.
Yeah, this no-huddle spread offense of Prairie View A&M. The Panthers, like you mentioned, I was just getting to that fourth state. You know, we've seen some nice completions and pass plays and runs, but not that rhythm that we saw a lot last year that the Panthers would get into offensively with the quick scores. Now they sold every ticket here.
And I'll tell you what, if you haven't been here to see this as it's being built, this is a beautiful, beautiful facility. And
the ruling on the field is a completed pass with the runner being down, knee ruled down at the 42. That brings up second down and 13. We're going to ask if all teams remove themselves from the field to the dressing room due to lightning.
Well, we've had some lightning in the vicinity again. We had a 55-minute delay in beginning this game, and to our east and a little bit to our north, a cell is passing. We've not gotten any rain here, but it's within that 8-mile designated area where we've had lightning, and they are sending the teams to the locker rooms.
We have
The ruling on the field after further review is a completed catch with the runner being down at the 42-yard line. Brings up second down and 13. We're going to ask that all teams remove themselves from the field and report to the locker room due to hazardous weather. Thank you.
Now there's the explanation. So the Panthers have gone to the locker room, so have the Tigers. And after a 55-minute delay,
leave it there.
We are delayed once again.
That's my bag there.
Now, since we are delayed here once again, we're going to send it to the Nissan Heisman House Special. Texas Southern Tigers leading the Prairie View A&M Panthers 7-3, and we're delayed with 36 seconds left in this first quarter.
Welcome to the 2016 Nissan Heisman House Special. Brought to you by Nissan.
This is the Nissan Heisman House.
Welcome back to Prairie View, Texas, the opening game ever at Panther Stadium. Right now, the home team Panthers are down by 4 to Texas Southern in this 32nd Labor Day Classic. We're in our second weather delay. It's about 55 minutes delay before starting this game. We've been delayed about another half hour here. We have some storms to our east, which, though it's not raining here at the stadium, to our east there have been lightning strikes frequent within the 8-mile distance. And the clock restarts every time a lightning strike occurs within 8 miles of the stadium. So we're at least another half hour away from that ending because we've had more lightning strikes forced. It's been frustrating, I know, for the fans. They're wanting to see their team play. They've been delayed a couple of times. The weather has been an issue. And we haven't seen that Prairie View A&M offense really get clicking.
Well, for the Prairie View A&M offense, the coaching staff probably likes what's happening because now they get to go back, regroup, talk about what they want to do. They aren't accomplishing what they're used to accomplishing with that fast-paced offense. Also, when you look at Texas Southern, they're doing a very good job defensively of slowing down that potent attack. Trey Green does not seem very comfortable out there. They're getting pressure on him from all different angles. So both coaching staffs get an opportunity to kind of go in and regroup. I think for the fans, that's the hard part because they're standing under the bleachers. They're not very comfortable. They're kind of standing there waiting. Right when they feel like it's time to go back out on the stands, they see another lightning strike, and the announcer tells them to go back under and get protection.
So we're at least another 45 minutes away from this game restarting. We have 36 seconds left in the first quarter. Texas Southern leading Prairie View A&M 7-3. For now, we'll send it to college football final, and we'll keep you updated with more later.
I'm Adnan Burke. It's the beginning of a new era here on College Football Final. Danny Cannell and Joey Galloway going to join me. Marvel certainly had some fun when it came to the comic book stars of college football. Some of these teams delivered upon those expectations, like Alabama, and other teams kind of stumbled a little bit. We'll show you all the highlights and major stories of the day as College Football Final starts right now. Let's kick it off first with Clemson taking on Auburn.
Welcome back to Prairie View, Texas, and the brand new Panther Stadium is Prairie View A&M and Texas Southern in this 32nd Labor Day Classic. We've had a couple of weather delays due to lightning, and our scheduled resumption time is 9:10 Eastern Time, 8:10 Central. So hopefully we'll keep our fingers crossed that no lightning strikes within the 8-mile limit and that we can resume football here very shortly. That would be a great thing for us, Conley, because there's a lot of people here, the players that are on the field and the fans that are now back in their seats in the stands that are ready to see some more football.
Well, I applaud the fan base for staying patient. You've seen a lot of people want to come down in the stands. The police have had to force them back under the stands to make sure everyone was safe, and it's all about safety. Of course, we all want to get the game going. Everybody's restless at this point, but it's about safety first. And that's what you want to make sure of. You want to make sure the fans are safe. You want to make sure the players are safe. Now, looking at strategizing, I think this helps Prairie View A&M more than Texas Southern, because when you look at Prairie View A&M coming into this ball game, there was a lot of unknown. Brand new coaching staff at Texas Southern. They didn't know what type of scheme they were going to face. They didn't know what Texas Southern's game plan was. Now they've seen almost a quarter of what Texas Southern wants to do offensively and defensively, and we talked about rhythm. I played in one of these types of offenses, a fast-paced no-huddle offense, and it all is predicated on rhythm, which is something we did not see with Prairie View A&M early.
So we'll have about 36 seconds left in the first quarter when this game does resume. So we'll take a timeout and we'll come back with more. Hopefully football straight ahead from here in Prairie View, Texas. Well, we had approximately a 55-minute weather delay before we began this game. And here late in the first quarter, what's been about an hour and a half second weather delay. And we are about to resume this 32nd annual Labor Day Classic between Texas Southern and Prairie View A&M. There's 36 seconds left in the quarter. They've actually already restarted the clock, so we're going to get to the end of the first quarter here momentarily. Prairie View A&M on their second possession of the game picked up a 25-yard field goal from Owen Houlihan, and Texas Southern a 46-yard touchdown catch for Derek Griffin has given Texas Southern the lead. So we're ready to resume. Both teams back on the field. They had restarted the clock. Now they're taking it back to 13 seconds, waiting for Texas Southern to get back on the field. They will start the clock, and we will resume. Great to have you with us, along with former Florida State offensive lineman Forrest Conley. I'm Mark Neely. We appreciate your patience, and we're ready to resume this 32nd Labor Day Classic being played for the first time ever in Prairie View, Texas, at brand new Panther Stadium. All right, here we go. Javonte Ham in the backfield. This is Prairie View A&M in the purple with the white helmets. It has possession of the football. Trey Green back to throw. Brings it back down. Does throw, but immediately Kadero Hodge is wrapped up and thrown down. Does pick up a 3-yard gain. Jarius Moore on the stop.
And Texas Southern starts off back in this ball game what they were doing prior to the delay, making plays on the ball carriers and receivers right when they get the football, not allowing them to get down the field and get a rhythm.
Brings up a 3rd down and 10. Final seconds here of the quarter. Are they going to get the playoff in time? They will not. And that takes us to the end of what has been for us a rather lengthy first quarter, thanks to a couple of weather delays. One quarter finally officially in the books here from brand new Panther Stadium, and Texas Southern leads Prairie View A&M 7-3. The Prairie View A&M Panthers band the Marching Storm. The TSU band is also here tonight, the Ocean of Soul. They're going to wait for halftime. Both will perform, but we get into the second quarter. 7-3, Tigers lead the Panthers. Prairie View A&M with a 3rd down and 10 on their own 45. Javonte Ham in the backfield. Green looks to throw, rolling out right. Lets it go and drops by Joshua Simmons. Hit him right in the hands with what would have been a 1st down catch, and who knows how much further he could have run for us because he had a lot of open space.
And Joshua Simmons was trying to make a play before he got possession of the football. You see Green's ability to get outside the pocket, deliver a strike, but you gotta catch that football if you're Simmons. If we talk about rhythm once again, that's been an issue throughout this ball game, a lack of rhythm by this high-powered offense. And as long as they can play with a lack of rhythm, you keep this Texas Southern ball club in this ball game.
Houlihan's punt. Austin Watts lets it roll, and it's going to roll inside the 5, and going to down it right near the 1-yard line. Monday Night Football back September 12th with the annual doubleheader to cap off Week 1 at 6:55 Eastern. Big Ben, Antonio Brown and the Steelers take on Josh Norman and the Redskins. And then at 10:15 Eastern, it's the West Coast matchup. The 49ers host Todd Gurley and the Los Angeles Rams. Coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown at 5 Eastern on ESPN and also streams live on Watch ESPN. Now that punt of 54 yards got helped with the roll. And Texas Southern has to begin their first drive since our second weather delay from their own, well, we'll call it 1 yard line. Kristoff under center. Long count, and Kristoff now with 3 on the play clock. Is he going to get it off in time? No. He asked for the timeout, but time had already elapsed. Now this is only going to cost him about a half a yard.
Yeah, you know, in a situation like that, don't worry about, you know, getting the penalty.
Timeout.
Apparently they did get the timeout in time to save them the half the distance to the goal penalty of what would have been about a half a yard.
30 seconds.
And that's a mistake by a guy that hadn't played a lot of football, hasn't played in a while. I think you allow the penalty. It's only a half a yard.
Tigers use the timeout, so will we.
TV, timeout.
When you were choosing a new faucet, you probably weren't thinking of the early mornings, the untested recipes, or the new additions. But we were.
The light rain falling at Panthers Stadium. Texas Southern leading Prairie View A&M 7-3. Texas Southern, their first possession of this second quarter, begin at their own 1 yard line.
With the Texas Southern band, please refrain from playing when the snap while the snap is imminent. First warning.
Well, the TSU band, the Ocean of Soul, gets their first warning from our referee, Roderick Holloway.
What's funny about that is the Texas Southern offense is on the field. So if you're the band, you don't want to play and not allow them to hear the snap count.
Kristoff, he keeps and gets maybe a yard before he's pushed back into the end zone.
And when you're deep in your own territory like this, you don't want to do any pitching. If you hand the ball off to a back, you want to get it to him on a dive play coming downhill. The last thing you want is for someone to have a missed assignment or a defensive player to make a great play and break into the backfield and give up a safety. So Texas Southern has to be very careful. If they don't get a lot of yards, maybe 3 or 4 yards on this play, I think they'll settle for just a safe play on third down and try and punt it out of there and play for field position.
Well, Derek Griffin, who had the touchdown catch in the first quarter, he's at the bottom of your screen, matched up with Terrence Singleton. Kristoff on the move, has to get rid of it quickly and finds the open man at the 15. Austin Watts gets a block for Griffin to the far side of the field at the 30, where he's tackled at the 32 by Terrence Singleton. So they get not only a little breathing room, they get a lot more breathing room with a 31-yard gain.
And that's a smart play by Texas Southern. What they did was sprint the quarterback out, give him a little bit more time to find the receiver. Because of Derek Griffin's size, the safety shaded over to where he was, leaving the middle of the field wide open for Austin Watts to get possession of the football and get positive yards.
Damon Jackson, the Panthers nickelback, was in hot pursuit of the quarterback, Kristoff, who got rid of it in time, and the 31-yard gain gives him a first down. Kristoff, play fake, rolling out once again. He fires and he's got his man wide open, but it falls down. Tracy Johnson was in the open and got caught up, and the turf made the tackle, and what could have been a touchdown turns into a long incompletion.
And ladies and gentlemen, we've seen the first ever attack of the turf monster here at Blackshear Field. He is wide open. Kristoff could have put a little bit more on the football, but you see the turf monster just eat him up. Tracy Johnson is wide open.
That should be an official stat for us here at New Panther Stadium. The turf gets its first official tackle.
Absolutely.
Well, instead of a possible touchdown, second down and 10. Hand off to Woodard. Broke one tackle, but then thrown down at the 36 by Jalen Coleman. A gain of 3 for Woodard.
And I think Texas Southern has found something with that quarterback sprint out. What that allows is, because of his ability to run the football, which he did well in the first quarter, the linebackers and the safeties are reacting when he's got the ball in his hands, which allows these receivers to get up the field.
Third down at 7 for TSU. They're 2 of 3 so far on converting third downs tonight, after converting only 27% of their third down opportunities a year ago.
Texas Southern has called their second.
The Tigers are going to use their second timeout already of the half, and they've come
32nd timeout.
both on this drive. So this possession began at their own 1-yard line. Completed a third down earlier on the drive and just missed on a possible touchdown pass to Tracy Johnson. So they have a 3rd and 7 upcoming.
Well, right now for Texas Southern, every possession is a very important possession, because as long as they have the football, you're keeping Trey Green and that high-powered Prairie View A&M offense on the sideline. So what they want to do is sit down, have a conversation, decide what's a good play. What can they possibly do to get another first down and continue this drive? I think we'll see Kristoff sprint outside the pocket once again. That's where they've had their most success with him passing the football, because what that does is that allows these receivers to get up the field.
Griffin, the receiver at the bottom of your screen. Austin Watts in the slot at right side. Kristoff sidesteps one defender, then has the ball knocked free. It's loose and recovered by the Panthers. Will Skinner recovers at the 42-yard line of Texas Southern.
And what Prairie View A&M did on that play was, with their defenders, they never put anybody with their hand down. So the offensive line did not know where pressure was coming from, what gaps to block. So they got free reign, they got pressure on Kristoff, and he's handling the ball carelessly. You cannot do that. This is the second time he's fumbled the ball this evening. The first time they were able to recover it, you see right here, a defender reaches in from the back and knocks it out.
That was Akeem Barton who knocked it out. Skinner recovered it. And here's Trey Green looking for the home run ball on first down. Throws in a crowd, and it's tipped and incomplete. They had 2 receivers down there. One was Hodge. The other was Lestrap, but it was well covered by the defense of Texas Southern, including number 25, Dondre Dobbins.
And dangerous throw by Trey Green. You've got 3 defenders. You've got 2 backs. It's actually 4 defenders. Both safeties are back there. It looked like Texas Southern had a better chance of getting the football than the Prairie View A&M players. You can't try and get it all back at one time. Take your time.
Only scores so far tonight for the Panthers came on their second possession of the game, a 25-yard field goal. On their first possession of the night, Warren Houlihan missed the 36-yarder. Running right is Darius Floyd to the edge. A nice run all the way up to the 32, so he picks up about 10 on second down and close to a first down. They spot it just short. So it's 3rd and 1.
3rd and 1 for Prairie View.
Panthers do not huddle. They're a spread hurry-up team right back to the line. Bottled up. He's going to lose a yard or 2. And it'll be a decision time here for Prairie View A&M Force. They're at that segment of the field. We're going for it on 4th down. Certainly not out of the question.
Well, this is the part of the spread offense I don't like. You need to get in the I formation, old school football, when it's 3rd or 4th and 1, and run the ball downhill with the lead blocker. That's what you miss with these spread offenses.
So it lost 2, and they're going for it on 4th down and 3. In motion, they fake the jet sweep. It's kept by Green, who will run for the first down up to the 30. Keep it with the quarterback, Trey Green. A gain of 5 on 4th and 3. First down, Panthers.
Now that's the positive about the spread offense. The quarterback has a lane, will find a lane, and will be able to get positive yards. But I like to see old school football, Mark. I like to see line it up in the I formation when it's 3rd or 4th and 1 with a lead back and get that first down.
This coming from my partner, Forrest Conley, former offensive lineman for Florida State, who will like to grade the road on occasion, shall we say.
Absolutely. That was my specialty.
Green gives it off to Ham. And he'll cross the 25, about the 24. Gain of 7 for Javonte Ham. 5'7" redshirt junior out of West Park, Florida.
You see the offense speeding up for Prairie View right now.
Green, screen pass out to Floyd. Floyd breaks a tackle, sidesteps another, gets to the 15, brought down to the 14. First down, Prairie View A&M. A 9-yard gain and a late flag comes flying.
You see the elusiveness by Floyd, able to avoid would-be tacklers and get positive yards.
Blocking below the waist. Number 27 on the offense. 15 yards from the spot of the foul. Second down.
Well, they get running back Javonte Ham on that call, so that will bring that back after the nice first down run.
And some fans will wonder, why is that a penalty? You can do that on blitz plays, but you cannot go down the field and block below the waist. That's for the safety of the players.
And was spotted back at the 30. Rain gets a little bit harder.
I'll tell you what, as long as these fans have waited for this game to start back up, I don't think they're going anywhere. They don't care about the rain at this point. They just don't want to see any more lightning.
Right. Play clock down to 2. They get it off in time. Green hands off. This is Caleb Broach, freshman. Advances it to the 25 for a pickup of 5 yards. Broach, a freshman out of Rockwall High School in Rockwall, Texas. Panthers last year best in the SWAC, converting 44% of their third downs, but only 1 of 5 tonight, Forrest. Looking at a 3rd down and 5 here. Floyd in motion. Green has time, throws it out to the far side, completed pass. That's to Floyd, but where the tackle is made, he's going to be really close. It'll depend on the spot. Nice stop there by Demetrius Johnson.
And Johnson did a good job of not trying to make the big hit, but making sure he made the tackle.
Well, with the spot, though, they're going to say it is a first down. So we got just enough. Floyd, after that catch, goes to the sideline. First down, Panthers. Under 9 minutes to play first half as the rain gets even a little bit harder. In motion, Simmons. Fake the jet sweep. They hand it off. Run for Caleb Broach. He's to the 15 for a pickup of 5.
And now Prairie View seems to be finding a rhythm. They've got a lot of moving parts. That is what makes this offense go. When you've got a lot of moving parts, you make the defense indecisive on what they want to do at the snap of the football.
Green will give it again to Broach, but he is chased from behind initially by Jamal Lucas. And Jarius Moore there as well, number 33, and a loss of 5. So just had a gain of 5, and they give those 5 right back.
And Jamal Lucas has done a good job throughout this evening of finding gaps and making plays. Whether he makes the tackle or not, he disrupts what Prairie View is trying to do. Somebody has to find Jamal Lucas on the field and put a hat on him.
Now, Lucas last year led Texas Southern's defense with 62 tackles. Also had 5 tackles for loss. 3rd and 10. No Griffin. Too high, though, for Simmons. And it's 4th down. There's number 21, Demetrius Johnson, who put a hit on the quarterback after the throw. Looked like Willie Simmons wanted a flag on that, but did not get it.
And throughout this evening, the Texas Southern defense has gotten their hits in when they could. You know, they're putting pressure on Trey Green. He doesn't seem to be comfortable back there passing the football.
Off the right hash, 37-yard attempt. Houlihan missed from 36 earlier and hit from 25. And this one has the distance and goes through. So Owen Houlihan, with his second field goal of the night, makes it a 1-point game with 7:02 to play in the first half.
There are over 480,000 college athletes. Only 2% would go pro. That means over 470,000 will not get a shoe contract. No autographs. No private jets. No fan club.
The winner of the Labor Day Classic takes that trophy home. The Durley Nix Trophy. This is the 32nd annual Labor Day Classic. Dates back to 1985 when they played the first one in the Astrodome in Houston. Right now, the Durley Nix Trophy being housed in the new administration and locker room building, which is part of this brand new complex, Panther Stadium, seeing its first ever game, and it's seen its first, to this point anyway, 2 weather delays. But the rain coming down, fortunately, fingers crossed, no lightning, and we can continue here with 7:02 to play first half. Tyler Cook, Brad Woodard back deep for TSU, and that's hit well into the end zone. And Cook thought about it a couple of times. Took a knee, got up, took another knee, and it's going to come out to the 25. Well, this rivalry in general dates back all the way to 1946. But Texas Southern has won 21 of the 31 meetings, but Prairie View A&M has won 9 of the last 11. They won last year 38-11. And another reason there was an urgency to get this game in is that this is the first conference game of the season in the SWAC.
When you look at that stat, at one time, Texas Southern had a 19-1 advantage.
Dominating, yes. So the Tigers begin from their own 25-yard line. 1-point game, 7-6. Tigers leading the Panthers.
Now the perfect storm for Texas Southern at this point is to run clock,
2 seconds.
put points on the board.
Thank you.
And not allow Prairie View A&M to get the ball before halftime.
I want to reset the game clock here. That's the reason for the delay. Put it at 7:02. They sent Griffin in motion. Hand it off to Tyler Cook. Just a gain of 3. Interesting there. Obviously a design run for us, but they motioned Griffin to the near side here, and Lockett was the one defending him, who is 5'9".
Well, what you do when you game plan and when you scheme, you look to see what they're going to do, how the defense is going to react. I'm sure Coach Haywood and his coaching staff will come back to that play again and try and get Griffin in a one-on-one with the shorter Lockett.
Now Singleton locked up on Griffin. And here's a run for Tyler Cook, and that is the aforementioned Terrence Singleton, who comes over to make the play. When we asked the coaching staff of Prairie View A&M about Terrence Singleton, who, by the way, is a Baylor transfer, the name they mentioned is an Ed Reed type, and that is some very high praise.
Very high praise, and I want to see it. You can tell me, but I want to see it because Ed Reed is one of the all-time greats with his ability to quarterback a defense. So as this game progresses on, I want to see it. Now you've got Griffin up top. They're playing press man on him, and let's see if the safety shade's over there.
Kristoff taking himself for the first down run up to the 44-yard line. And a gain of 11 for Kristoff. David Jackson makes the stop. You're talking about Singleton and the Ed Reed comparison. Ed Reed had 64 career interceptions and returned 7 of those for touchdown.
And not to say that Singleton isn't that type of player, but that is very high praise when you talk about a guy that will probably be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Almost unfair kind of to make that comparison, but yes. You got Singleton and Griffin there at the bottom of your screen. Singleton giving him some more room off the line this time. First down. Play fake. Kristoff throws across the middle and finds his target. A tumbling catch is made by Mario Smalls, the tight end, and another Tigers first down after he gained a 19.
And the free safety, Will Skinner, is slapping himself because he had an opportunity to make a play on that football. You've got to see that. You see Kristoff, he's eyeing his receiver. Will Skinner flashes, but he flashes too late. You've got to watch the quarterback's eyes and get over and try and knock that ball down.
Mario Smalls had only one catch last year. It went for 21 yards. He gets his first catch of this year for 19. The new head coach for Texas Southern, Michael Haywood, told us that they're going to run a New England playbook. We know how much they use Rob Gronkowski in that at the tight end spot. Maybe that'll mean more opportunities for Smalls this year. Kristoff taken off. Runs for 8 yards to the 29-yard line of the Panthers, but Kristoff comes up hobbling. Two Jalen's, Jalen Coleman and Jalen Williams with the tackle for the Panthers. And definitely a little hitch there in the step of Kristoff as he goes back to the huddle. Watch the end of the play in the tackle and keep an eye on his right leg on the cut. Yeah, that knee kind of bent. It really wasn't the hit. It was the awkward angle that knee went into when he was making his cut.
You see him trying to stretch it out a little bit before the snap of the football.
Send in motion, Tony Upchurch. Tyler Cook has some room, but there's a flag inside the 10. Bumped out of bounds at the 5 by Will Skinner, but we'll see about the flag, which is back near the line of scrimmage. If it stands, a 24-yard run for Tyler Cook.
I think they're going to get Tony Upchurch on a hold, number 40.
Upchurch was the whiteout that was in motion from the near side to the far side. Let's see what the official word is from Roderick Holloway.
The way the officials are looking, maybe he turned up the field and got across the line. Well, no, it's maybe on the defense.
Offside, 95, defense. That penalty decline. Results of the play, first down.
So the play will stand. Devon Reed, the defensive tackle, was offsides.
And he may have lined up offsides. I thought they were going to get Upchurch right here on the hold at the end of that play. You see him pull his hands back because he thought the officials was going to catch him with the hold on that play. But good job by the back getting up the field. Once again, you see this Texas Southern ball club taking their time, Mark. They don't want to leave a lot of time on the clock. They want to take their time and try and put points on the board.
First down and goal from the 5-yard line for TSU. Kristoff gives it back to Cook. He makes a cut. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers. Well, the coaches for the Tigers told us that Tyler Cook has been the biggest surprise in their fall camp. And he comes away with his first career touchdown.
And that was a great job by Tevin Jones on the lead block, what I want to see when you're down on the goal line.
5-yard touchdown run for the freshman Tyler Cook out of Salisbury High School in Dallas. Medina on for the point after, straight through, and it's 14-6 TSU.
And number 4, Tevin Jones with a great block, leading him in for the touchdown. Tyler Cook, a speedy back. He finds a lane, gets to the end zone. Texas Southern now up 14-6.
Your accent is...
Brand new Panther Stadium for Prairie View, Texas. Texas Southern leading Prairie View A&M now 14-6 after the 5-yard touchdown run by TSU's Tyler Cook. Joshua Simmons back deep for the Panthers. You see the rain that's been coming down fairly heavy and fairly steady for about the last 15-20 minutes or so. Ray Carter back deep along with Simmons. Coming to the near side, and Simmons from the 3. Can't quite make it to the 20. as Demetrius Johnson playing special teams with the tackle. Panthers football when we come back to Prairie View, Texas.
ESPNU College Football, brought to you by Dr. Pepper. It's a college football tradition.
Ole Miss, Florida State. Bidding today.
3:15 to play first half. Prairie View A&M takes over for their 5th possession of the football game. On their previous 4, they've had 3 field goal attempts, made 2, missed 1. Also a punt. And begin their 5th possession with a complete. Hodge had it for a moment and it was knocked free. It's incomplete is the ruling. So the incompletion to Hodge. 2nd and 10. Trey Green, 8 of 14 now through the air, 108 yards.
And those numbers are deceptive because the receivers have dropped a lot of passes that they should be catching. I could name about 4 different passes that have hit them right in their hands. They just didn't make the catch. With the wet football, you've got to squeeze the football to gain control.
Dewanye Tucker is the back. He fakes the handoff to him. Finds Hodge. He hangs on. Only able to advance, though, up to about the 23 for a gain of 3. Run out by Raheem McMorris.
And this is right where Texas Southern wants to have Prairie View A&M. They know what they're running offensively now. They know they've got to pass the football to try to get a first down.
3rd down at 7. Panthers so far tonight 2 of 7 on 3rd down after leading the SWAC last year, converting 44% of their 3rd down opportunities. Green hit as he throws. That ball's up for grabs and it is intercepted by Demetrius Johnson. Well, Green took contact as he let that one go, and it floated up, and Demetrius Johnson was the closest. Had to make a nice play on the football to come away with the pick, but does just that.
Well, they ran a stunt on that play. If you watch on that play, the defensive end crashed down, and the tackle looped around and got Green, and Green held onto the football a little bit too long on that play. You see Green upset on the sideline, but you've got to have quarterback awareness. You see him loop around. Green didn't have the awareness to know that he was back there, and that was a great job by Demetrius Johnson. But you see him right here. Green, you've got to feel that right there. You see the tackle trying to get out there, Josiah Freeman, but when they did that stunt, the Josiah Freeman went inside with the defensive end, and the tackle looped around and was able to get the pressure and make the hit and take off what Green tried to do with the football. And once again, let's not take anything away from Demetrius Johnson because he did a great job adjusting to a football on a wet field and getting possession of that football, giving Texas Southern another opportunity, Mark, to put points on the board before the half.
Darius Stapleton was the one that hit Green, caused the errant throw, handoff. Woodard, stiff arm, comes to the near side, inside the 30, runs out of bounds at the 27. 17, make that an 18-yard pickup for Brad Woodard.
And right now, Texas Southern is winning the battle at the line of scrimmage. These running backs are finding lanes, and they're getting to second-level defenders before they're getting contact.
TSU trying to take advantage of the turnover. You know, Green was only picked off 3 times last year. 21 touchdown passes. He's picked off for the first time this year. Nice move by Cook to try to kick it outside. Tumbles forward after Marquise O'Leary was able to undercut him. No gain.
Now something to look out for because they're being successful running the football. You've now got Derek Griffin on the outside with single man coverage. You've got the safeties cheating up closer to the line of scrimmage to try and stop this running game. Will Kristoff recognize that and go to Griffin and try and get him over the top?
Griffin up at the top of your screen. Defended by Singleton, who has some safety help as well. Just thrown towards the end zone, up for grabs, and diving attempt by Austin Watson, a flag. Well, it didn't look like a great throw, Forrest, from Kristoff, who's hobbling once again. But Watts made a play on the ball. The defender never looked back.
Number 5, 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic. First down.
Arthur Lockett was the cornerback on the coverage.
Well, initially, Austin Watts is not looking for the football, and he looks up at the last minute, and Lockett kind of, panicked and pushed him down.
Well, looking at the replay, James Harper, number 75, the reason that Kristoff had to get rid of that so quickly, and he took a hit as well, a big one.
And you see Coach talking to, Lockett, trying to tell him, make a play on the football. Don't panic. Make a play on the football, not the player. If you turn around and locate the football and run into the player, you avoid getting that call. But when you don't turn around and look for the football and you go through the offensive player is going to get that call every time.
Well, Levarian Hurts now comes in at quarterback. Kristoff goes to the sideline, the handoff to Tyler Cook, and he's dropped for a loss back outside the 15 by Devon Reed, a loss of 4 yards. Kristoff has gone to the bench, and Levarian Hurts, who played 9 games last year at quarterback for Texas Southern, threw for 997 yards, had 14 TD passes, only 3 interceptions, and runs pretty well. Had 3 rushing touchdowns a year ago.
He's a smaller quarterback, but he's got a little bit more elusivity skills. He can be more elusive in that backfield.
Hurts taking a shot for Griffin in the end zone, touchdown. Even drew the flag, but Derek Griffin with his second touchdown catch of the game. And Singleton was covering and had tight coverage, but Singleton at 5'11" could not bat that away from the 6'7" Derek Griffin.
Well, Will Skinner was late getting over there, and when you got Griffin out there, he's going to be a matchup problem. Once again, when you're that close, you've got to make sure you keep a safety shaded over there, but the safety has to react. You can't worry about looking in the backfield. You've got to play your 1/11th on the field, meaning you've got to know your responsibility and play it. Watch Skinner, number 33.
Well, you look at the replay. Did Griffin step out of bounds before he got into the end zone? Take a look from this angle here. Right there near the pylon, did he step out and come back in?
Well, what's interesting, I don't know if his heel went out of bounds.
There's one foul on the play. We have an ineligible receiver for the offense that was covered up by the wideout. We have the receiving receiver stepping out of bounds, never establishing, receiving the ball. That pass is ruled incomplete. 5-yard penalty, second down.
So take the touchdown off the board.
If I were Texas Southern, I would challenge this play, because if you look at that play, you have nothing to lose with the challenge with 37 seconds left in the half. When you look at that play, I wonder if his heel went out of bounds. When you look both times where it looked like he may have stepped out of bounds, he was on his toe and his heel was up off the ground. And it was called a touchdown on the field.
But the official did throw the hat to indicate that he had stepped out of bounds. So that would be the call on the field that would have to be overturned. And I think Michael Haywood is going to take your advice here. And
we have nothing to lose.
The previous play is under further review.
What I want to pay attention to is his heel. On both times where it looked like he may have stepped out of bounds, was his heel out of bounds? There are 2 parts on this play where it looked like he may have stepped out of bounds. Okay, right here and right there.
The big, the small, and the everyday. Our 800 plus agents and over 300 play personnel provide prompt efficient service to more
yeah,
than 450,000 member families all across Texas.
I think you're right. He may have stepped out twice, but they're taking a look at it, and as they do, will step aside with 37 seconds left in this first half. Our replay official, Ken Dollar, is still taking a look at this one with 37 seconds left in the first half to see if Derek Griffin did indeed step out, as Texas Southern, why not roll the dice here and challenge the play on the field, and that's indeed what the Tigers have done. Referee Roderick Holloway still listening in, waiting for a decision. We've got some big-time games this first week of the college football season, if you haven't noticed, and it's not over yet. Tomorrow night, number 11 Ole Miss and number 4 Florida State, led by Heisman hopeful running back Dalvin Cook. Coverage begins at 8 Eastern from Orlando and streams live on ESPN app and watch ESPN. Still taking a look at that one. Now there has to obviously be inclusive evidence to overturn this.
Well, they got to be looking to see if the heel actually goes out of bounds. That's the key. Because on both, you can, right at the 1.5 yard line, right there, is the heel out, and then once again, right there.
Now, another question here, Forth, is he reestablished? Because you see the defender Singleton with his arms on him at one spot, just a frame or two behind that, where he's pushing him perhaps, or at least contacting him to go out of bounds. Did he get reestablished? The call on the field is that he did not.
Well, it's definitely an interference call that they did not make. They can't go back and make that call.
The ruling on the field stands as called. The ball would be spotted at the 20-yard line, second down.
And I think it went to what you said, Mark. There's no inconclusive evidence to overturn that play. They had to be able to see clearly that his heels weren't out of bounds. But when you look at what's going on with them being able to establish a running game, I think we're going to see some more opportunities for Derek Griffin to make a play. They lucked out on that play because Will Skinner got caught looking in the backfield. You cannot allow yourself as the free safety to get caught looking in the backfield when you've got man coverage, especially press man coverage, on the outside with Derek Griffin.
Well, the line of scrimmage on the previous play was at the 16, so I'm not sure why the ball's being spotted at the 20. They had offsetting penalties, or why it wouldn't be the 21 if they were just using the 5-yard penalty for one that would stand. But they spotted it at the 20. Hurts under pressure, throws it out of bounds in the general direction of Tracy Johnson.
And that was a great job by Jalen Williams getting pressure on Hurts, not allowing him to set his feet. And when Hurts broke outside the pocket and broke contain, he continued to pressure him and make him get rid of the football. You want to do that when you've got a new quarterback in the game. He hasn't gotten the feel for the game yet. You don't want to allow him to get comfortable.
Well, let's not forget how big a call that is, because it looked like Griffin had a touchdown, and this was an extra point away from being a 21-6 lead for Texas Southern with a half minute left in the first half. But now they're looking at 3rd down and 18 from the 20.
Well, if you don't go to Griffin this play, I think you do something safe. Try and get it a little bit better field position.
He's going in that direction again, and he has it. Did he stay in bounds? No. Incomplete.
But once again, the safety is late getting over. You cannot continue to do this too often. Griffin had an opportunity to make a play, but he could not stay in bounds. And that was close as well. But I thought, you go to Griffin, if you don't see it, if you don't feel it, play it safe, put yourself in better field goal position.
37-yard attempt for Eric Medina, whose long last year was 38, and that one knocked through and good. So Texas Southern thought at one point that they had their 3rd touchdown of the night, but they settled for a field goal, and they have an 11-point lead with 26 seconds left in the first half. Michael Haywood, new coach here for Texas Southern, the Houston Texas native, 52 years old, went to St. Thomas High School in Houston.
The game clock.
Played at Notre Dame under Lou Holtz, was an assistant for Nick Saban at LSU, for Mac Brown in Austin, Charlie Weiss at Notre Dame. He was the 2-year head coach at Miami, turned that program around, won one game his first year, but won the MAC in his second. He got the head coaching job at Pittsburgh December 16th of 2010. Was arrested December 31st on a domestic violence charge. Pittsburgh fired him. The charge was eventually dropped in February of 2012. But Michael Haywood is a guy who knows Houston, even has his dad in the pipeline for recruiting, and recruiting his hometown of Houston has been an important part of what he is doing with Texas Southern, and really came away with quite a haul this past season.
Well, he talked about building his program with high school players as opposed to going the junior college route. And I like that because you get them for 4 years and you get to develop that talent. A lot of times with JUCO players, they come in and you play them right when they get there, and the development process isn't there.
And good to have Michael Haywood back in a head coaching position again. He has proven that he can win in that role. That ball's going to bounce. Simmons has to go back to get it at the 1. And is swarmed under just outside the 10. 10 seconds to go in the half.
And right now, if you're Prairie View A&M, I take a knee, go in halftime, regroup, try and figure out, what we're doing wrong, what we need to do better, how we can get ourselves back into this ball game. This is a quick strike offense. There's no problem with them getting back into this ball game if they get into a rhythm. But right now, they just don't seem to be in a rhythm. They don't seem comfortable out there.
Hands it off to Tucker for a gain of 3 or 4, and that's going to take us, unless they use a timeout. They will not. That takes us to the end of the first half.
End of the first half.
Now Texas Southern and Prairie View A&M opening up this brand new Panther Stadium. And it's a 17-6 lead for the Tigers. On the other side of the break, we'll send it to the studio with Matt Schick, Jason Sehorn, and Kevin Carter. We had a couple of weather delays. We've weathered that. Hopefully there's another half of football ahead shortly. But we're at the intermission here in Prairie View, Texas. The hometown Panthers trailing by 11. Welcome back to ESPN College Football, presented by McDonald's. We're at the half from new Panther Stadium in Prairie View, Texas. 32nd Labor Day Classic. Texas Southern leading Prairie View A&M by a score of 17-6, along with former Florida State offensive lineman Forrest Conley. I'm Mark Neely. When you take into account the 2 weather delays, we had time-wise a 4-hour first half. So let's talk about who does that favor one of the teams. Does it favor Prairie View A&M because they're the home team, or Texas Southern? Are they playing a little looser? Where do you see this going?
Well, you talk about pressure bursting pipes. I think right now the pressure of this new stadium, the pressure of being the preseason favorite to play in the SWAC championship, it started to wear on this Prairie View A&M ball club. I thought with the time, with the delay, they would have been able to scheme against an offense and a defense that they did not really know what to prepare for as far as a new coaching staff at Texas Southern. But you have not seen that since they've come out. It looks like Texas Southern is the team to beat right now in the SWAC.
Well, Trey Green, the returning quarterback for the Panthers, arguably he's had a number of passes, catchable passes dropped tonight.
Well, the receivers have got to do a better job. When the ball hits your hands, you've got to squeeze the football. You see them, they got the ball in possession, but they don't squeeze it, and then they're flushing him outside the pocket. He makes good passes, but these guys are trying to make a play before they get possession of the football. A touchdown right there they could have had, but the receiver did not squeeze the football, and there's pressure on Trey Green. He gets hit and gives up an easy interception.
That was Demetrius Johnson with the pick, but then on the other side, Derek Griffin, 46-yard touchdown catch from Jay Kristoff.
Well, Kristoff did a good job of noticing that he was going to get a corner blitz, and he saw he had a safety covering Derek Griffin. He's a mixed match on the field, and when you're 6'7" and you get past the defender, it's easy to catch.
Kristoff got banked up on that last possession for Texas Southern. Barion Hurts finished that drive. We'll see if Kristoff comes back for the second half or if it will be Hurts. Trey Green, by the way, in that first half goes 8 of 16 for 103 yards. no TDs, and the 1 interception. Green had 21 touchdown passes a year ago with only 3 interceptions.
Well, this is an offense that can get back into a rhythm and can get back into this game very fast. I think they've got to take their time. Don't play with pressure. Go out and do what you do. Run your offense, but understand that this Texas Southern Ball Club has come to play, and they've come to win this game.
Both bands had a chance to play here at the half. Let's take a look at the numbers from half number 1. Look at Texas Southern, 229 total yards to the Panthers, just 170. Each team turned it over one time in that half.
But you look at the yards, there's balance from Texas Southern. 117 rushing, 112 passing. You know, time of possession has pretty much been even, but what Texas Southern is doing a good job of is a balanced attack.
Well, it's great to show you this brand new stadium, Panther Stadium, in its first ever game. It's not just the stadium, there's some other facilities as well. A building the locker rooms are housed in just on one of the sides of the end zone. We've had exclusive access into the new facility. So let's take a closer look at the new football facility here at Prairie View A&M for today's AT&T Inside Access. You got to have a weight room if you're going to compete.
Well, you want to sell the program, and this is a beautiful facility. This is what you want to show recruits when they come in and you talk about them coming and being a part of your program.
And Willie Simmons has the best office in the facility. It looks out from one corner of the end zone. That's a sweet view from Coach's desk. Very nice. Our AT&T Inside Access, and look at the new facilities here at Prairie View A&M. This new 15,000 seat stadium. You saw the field house. It has the weight room, the locker room. The long-term plan would allow them to double the seating capacity if they so chose to 30,000. But right now, 15,000 fits them perfectly.
Well, I think right now what these 15,000 fans want to see is that proficient, prolific offense come to life.
Well, Texas Southern won the toss to begin the game and deferred, so they will get the football to begin the second half and have the 11-point lead in this 32nd annual Labor Day Classic. Tyler Cook back. Received the kickoff from Owen Houlihan. In Prairie View A&M in the purple uniforms with the gold trim, white helmets. Texas Southern wearing the white uniforms with the maroon trim. And we're ready to go into half number 2.
Now, I'd beware. If I'm Texas Southern, you got to look for the onside kick. You got to look for anything right now for Prairie View to try and get some energy going on their sideline.
Looks like the rain is stopped during the intermission. Austin Watts from about a half-yard deep. Coming to the near side, gets a block. Across the 30 to the 35-yard line. A flag back at the 15, though, may bring this return back. Another question that needs to be answered is, will Jay Kristoff come back from the intermission as the quarterback? He left during their final drive, and Marion Hurts took over.
And not a return if you're head coach Willie Simmons for Prairie View A&M that you want to see.
So that is Hurts. So it looks like Kristoff will not come out to start this second half.
Now, big question for Hurts coming out in the second half. Can he establish, some running attack and make Prairie View respect his ability to run the football like Kristoff did?
So pushing the back on the return against TSU. They spotted after marking off the penalty at the 25-yard line.
The snap is imminent. It's warning.
Well, earlier in the game, our referee Roderick Holloway warned the TSU band Ocean and Soul for playing just before snap, and now they warn the marching Storm Panthers band for doing so. A flag as Tyler Cook is hit hard a few yards behind the line of Jalen Williams,
Holding.
number 54 there.
62. Offense.
Jimmy Williams, the center, called for the hold.
The penalty will be assessed 10 yards from the previous spot. First down.
And that's an example of bringing the people's elbow by Jalen Williams. You get across the line of scrimmage, you get them in the backfield, you want to let them know that you're there, and that is a great job to open up the second half of this defense. That's what you want to do. You want to start laying the foundation for the second half and let them know that you're still in this ball game.
Panthers accepted the penalty, so it's first down and 20 from the 15-yard line of TSU. Running play for Tyler Cook. Gains 2 up to the 17, where he's met by Willie Green, one of the defensive ends, number 90.
Now, can Averion Hurts pass the ball as effective as Kristoff did in the first half? That's going to be key for this offense. One thing Kristoff did a good job of is on 3rd and long, 2nd and long, got the ball down the field, put his team in a good position to get 3rd and shorts and convert some of those 3rd downs to 1st downs. That'll be key for Averion Hurts.
Derek Griffin, who had a touchdown catch in the first half and nearly a second, is at the top of your screen. Now coming up in press coverage is Singleton. Hurts had it, lost the football. Where is it? It's picked up by the Panthers, who recover at the 10.
And that's a turnover.
And TSU turns it over for the second time, recovered by Jalen Coleman.
And one of the fears when you've got a new quarterback in the game is the center quarterback exchange. I know that Hurts and Jimmy Williams worked on that on the sideline, but you've got, and that's actually on Hurts, you've got to do a better job. You've got to stick the ball in the belly of the back. It wasn't a great snap, but he had control of the snap. But the back has got to do a better job. Hurts has got to do a better job. You've got to protect the football. You know the football is wet. You know you've got a wet field. You know you're deep in your own territory. That's the one thing that you do not want to do is turn the ball over and give this potent offense a short field. One thing that you've done is you've created some lack of confidence in this offense. Now you give them a short field. If they're able to put points on the board, beware of what Prairie View A&M may be able to do in this second half.
A very short field. 1st and goal from the 9 as Trey Green comes back out. First possession of the second half for the Panthers, and it comes after the second turnover of the game from the Tigers. Green keeps, throws to the end zone, touchdown. Kadero Hodge, 9-yard touchdown catch, and that didn't take long for the Panthers to respond. Well, Hodge, their leading returning wide receiver this year, 3 touchdown catches a year ago, and he picks up his first of the year. Owen Houlihan on for the point after out of the hold of Christian Russo, and they were short a man on the line. Freeman comes out. Now they've got 11. And that is up and through. So the answer to the trivia question, who scored the first Panther touchdown at the new stadium? It's Kadero Hodge.
You see Hodge on the quick slant. Great job by the offense to get the score. Prairie View's back in the ball game.
Only 2 weeks into the new membership. And you're already strong enough to spot the huge guy. A little goodness is the beginning of greatness. Whole nuts, real fruit, with dark chocolate. Introducing Goodness Knows.
No other sports bar does college football like Dave & Buster's. Cheer on your team at the football destination that crushes the competition. With massive TVs and new games you can't find anywhere else. Watch the games and play the games at your football headquarters, Dave & Buster's.
It's the recon mission for Tango 165. The endless search for the best berries. A midnight run for tacos al pastor. and the empty roads of Dawn Patrol. This is summer driving. During the Mazda Summer Drive event, get 0 to drive lease offers on any new 2016 Mazda.
Beard hair can be as strong as copper wire. The Gillette Mach 3 is precision engineered to cut hair this tough. No wonder it has the world's #1 selling blades. Mach 3, now as low as $10. Gillette.
Your accent is adorable.
Thank you.
Say tomato.
Tomato.
Tomato. What again?
Tomato.
Tomato. Is that right? It's the A. You know,
know when to the subtle fragrance of Axe Black.
To get where I am today has taken years of hard work, tens of thousands of miles, and more energy than I knew I had. But that's okay. I'm looking far down the road, where many more hours and miles and long days lay ahead. Because where I am today is just a start compared to where I'm going.
I'm coming over.
On one night, we all stand together.
Let's build a world where cancer is no more.
Stand up.
Stand up.
Stand up.
Stand Up to Cancer. A one-night event live this Friday, September 9th at 8, 7 Central.
Coming up tonight after Sunday Night Baseball at Sports Center at night with Max and the coach. They'll have all the highlights from the U.S. Open, Major League Baseball, Notre Dame, Texas, third round of the Deutsche Bank Championship, NFL news, and a lot more. Sports Center at night after Nats Mets on ESPN and streaming live on the ESPN app. Watch ESPN. Early in the second half from Prairie View, Texas, Panthers able to take advantage of a Texas Southern turnover and a quick score. Has made this a 4-point game. When Houlihan to kick off, Tyler Cook, Brad Woodard, both back deep. TSU. Cook elects to take it out from 3 yards deep. And not a good decision, as he's tackled and loses his helmet in the process at the 7-yard line. Raymond Jackson on special teams. He's a 5th-year senior out of New Orleans, a transfer from Florida International, making that big hit.
And I tell you what, that rain delay didn't wake up this Prairie View A&M ball club, but that 20-minute halftime did. I don't know what Coach Jones said to him at halftime, but they have come out with an aggression. They are coming out, they're hitting, they are making plays, and right now, you've got a Texas Southern offense on their toes.
And they have to begin this possession at their own 8-yard line. Once again, it's Averion Hurts at quarterback for TSU. He's under center. Give it to Brad Woodard, who's immediately wrapped up and dropped for no gain by Devon Reed. Interesting, Devon Reed. We were talking with the defensive coordinator, Ralph Street of the Panthers, and he says, hey, my phone will buzz almost at all hours. I'll get text messages from Devon Reed. So many from Devon that I have to tell my wife, hey, that's just Devon, okay? He may text me at all hours, but that's my defensive tackle that I'm keeping in touch with.
And as a coach, you've got to love his dedication to the program. But also, you got to, let him know, son, I have a wife and a family. I have a happy home.
Hurts keeping it a couple yards up to the 10 for Averion.
And what's interesting, because they've been pinned so far back in their own territory, they're not giving the coaching staff the confidence that they need to allow Averion to throw the football. He hadn't played a whole lot in this ball game. He came in for an injured Kristoff, right before the end of the first half. And when you talk about trying to get a first down on 3rd and long, do you feel comfortable allowing him to pass the ball right now?
When we talked with the coaches of TSU during the week, they said, don't be surprised to see both quarterbacks, but with the way Kristoff was playing, if he had not gotten banged up, I don't know if we would have seen Hurts. What do you think, Forrest? And now he's being chased in the end zone and dropped for a sack. Lost the football at the end, but able to get it back. And it's a safety. Damon Jackson tackling Hurts in the end zone.
And this is the second time we've seen Hurts in the shotgun and a poor snap. The first snap where he fumbled the ball, trying to hand it off to Tyler Cook that was to his side. This time it's high. It's a wet football. And he did the worst thing that you could do when you're pinned close to your own goal line, run backwards. Just get down. But because he's trying to make a play for his ball club, he puts himself in a bad position. He almost lost the football and gave up a touchdown.
So now it's a 2-point game after the 2 points on the safety. And right now, Forrest, all momentum is shifted back to the home team here after a very lackluster first half from the Panthers.
And how quickly momentum has shifted. We're not even 5 minutes into the second half. And all the momentum is over on the Prairie View A&M sideline, offensively and defensively.
But to get back to my point about Hurts, who's a quarterback who played 9 games last year for Texas Southern, so an experienced guy. But as well as Christoph was playing, I don't know if he would have come out of the football game, but who's to say?
Well, I think, too, we've got to give Hurts some, we can't put it all on him. He's deep in his own territory, both drives in this half. And that's difficult for any quarterback, even if Christoph was in the game. You can't say that he would have been as much more successful because of how deep he was in that. Lessens the amount of plays that you want to call. You've got to play safe football when you're that deep in your own territory. So you can't just say for certain that it's all Hurts' fault, but Christoph was playing very well.
Yeah, I guess that's my point. Not really putting the spotlight on Hurts for any kind of poor play. Just that I think they really missed Christoph as well as he was playing in that first half.
Well, he's such a big quarterback at 6'4", 210 pounds. He's able to fall forward for 3 or 4 yards on every quarterback draw. He was doing a good job of getting outside the pocket and finding receivers. And I thought that was something that they would do with Hurts. Because of his ability to get to the outside with his speed, use him in that manner.
Well, the free kick from the 20, and Medina slipped as he was kicking. And the Panthers are going to have it inside TSU territory at the 48. But watch Medina as he approached the football. He slips that left foot.
And I tell you what, that turf monster once again has caught up with this Texas Southern ball club. And it's right in that same area that the turf monster caught up with the receiver when he was wide open, Tracy Johnson, on what would have been probably a touchdown for Texas Southern.
So back out comes the Panthers offense, who have scored after a TSU fumble on the Tigers' first possession of the half, and a safety, and now take it back at the 48-yard line. Green took a big hit as he throws, and that ball is picked off. Demetrius Johnson with his second INT of the night. Green took a big hit as he put that one in the air, and Johnson comes away with pick number 2 in. 1 interception all of last year, and he has 2 tonight here in the season opener.
And Archie Rice did a good job of putting pressure on Green, not allowing him to step into that throw. And once again, Johnson makes a pick. That's his second one. He's doing a good job of adjusting to the football. You see it right there. Green could not step into the throw. Archie Rice right there. Jimmy on the spot to get his second pick of the night. Good job by this defense. You see him right there, eyeing the quarterback the entire time. And honestly, if Green would have been able to step into that pass, Johnson was in good position to make a play on that football.
TSU gets it right back at their own 30. Each team now with 2 turnovers in the game. Hurts with the give to Woodard. He bounced off one tackler, then lost the football. And who's recovered it? And the Panthers have it. So Texas Southern gives it right back as James Harper, the nose tackle, jumped on the loose football. And it's Panthers football once again.
So now both teams are playing hot potato. No, you get it. No, you get it. No, I don't want it. You get it. Somebody's got to hold on to the football. Right here, a very opportunistic defense. You see him going through the hole, guys reaching, punching, and poking at the football. You've got to protect the football when you're trying to fight for extra yards.
Might have been number 33, Will Skinner, who punched that out. He certainly helped do so. So the Panthers right back on offense from the 32-yard line of Texas Southern. Last 3 plays from scrimmage on both sides. We've had a safety, an interception, and a fumble. And the irony is it stopped raining. Handoff to Tucker. Only able to get back to the line of scrimmage for the freshman, Dewanye Tucker. Zach Bamajoko with the tackle.
And what Texas Southern is doing a good job of is they're getting pressure on the quarterback with 4, and then they're bringing blitzes. They're bringing exotic blitzes, trying to make Trey Green be indecisive with his decision-making. You see safeties coming up to the line of scrimmage, pre-snap, then they're dropping back into coverage. You've got outside linebackers up at the line of scrimmage. Right now, you've got the offensive linemen trying to figure out their pre-snap reads.
Dobbins, the safety, does blitz, but bouncing off one tackler. Lucas had a shot at him. Green right near the line of scrimmage, but it goes as a 9-yard run for Trey Green, who also lost a shoe. Well, they want to hurry up the offense, but he needs time to get his left shoe back on.
Will Texas Southern bring pressure on this play?
The answer is yes. With Simmons straight ahead. Minimal gain, but didn't need a lot on 3rd and short. See where the spot is here. And with that spot, he'll have a first down.
What Trey Green and this Prairie A&M offense want to do is be able to catch Texas Southern in one of those blitz packages and get man coverage on the outside. If they can do that, they'll try and go over the top to Kadero Hodge.
2 receivers to each side for Green, including Hodge at the top of the screen. Green looking at his direction, instead throws underneath and incomplete off the hands of the back, Dewanye Tucker.
Receiver on defense, Texas Southern. Number 6.
Trey Green looking like he's a bit gassed. He got knocked around in that first half. In fact, the first series of the game, he needed some attention on the field, but has stayed in there.
Now they've got 5 wide receivers. This is a time where Texas Southern can bring pressure, have more men than they can block, but if they do, you've got to look for Trey Green to find a hot read.
Whistle pre-snap due to the Panthers using a timeout. It will be their first of this second half. So 9:43 remaining. Still just the 3rd quarter here from Panthers Stadium. But the Panthers now only down by 2.
University. First charge timeout.
We are the SWAC. Our heritage lifts us to great heights because my history is forged by trailblazers. That motivates me today to focus on my future. We are the SWAC. We are the new trailblazers. And this is my heritage.
ESPNU College Football is brought to you by Dawn. Tough on grease, yet gentle on feathers.
Well, on a night where the debut of this beautiful $65 million complex, the new Panther Stadium, the home team Panthers have trailed for most of this game with the exception of an early first quarter field goal, but now driving behind quarterback Trey Green, trying to reclaim their first lead since early in this game. They face a 2nd down and 10 on the 22-yard line at Texas Southern. Empty backfield. Once again, 5 receivers. TSU rushes 6. Quick throw towards the near sideline.
And that's what you do when they put 5 receivers on the field. You bring more than the offensive line can block. you put pressure on Trey Green, make him throw the football away. If he doesn't see a hot read right off the snap of the football, he's going to throw it away or he's going to make a bad throw. Trey Green has to realize that when those guys step up in those gaps, those linebackers, you've got to go to a hot read.
3rd down and 10. He has Tucker in the backfield with him this time. 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen. Green is going to take off with it to the 15. Needed to get to the 12 for the first down. He'll have that inside the 10, down at the 8, where it will be 1st and goal after a 14-yard run by the quarterback, Trey Green. Hurry up offense, right back to the line. Green quickly swings out the screen pass and towards the pylon. Simmons is in. Touchdown. So out of the timeout, Prairie View A&M strikes quickly and indeed does have the lead back for the first time since the first quarter. Well, they're going to review this and make sure that Simmons got in there at the pylon.
And that was a good job by number 88, the tight end Christian Beltran, on the block on the outside. He got the block and allowed him to get to the outside. It looks like he's going to be out prior to getting to the goal line, but a good job by the tight end to get out and give him an edge to get around.
Yeah, there's definitely enough to overturn this. Watch that left foot, definitely out inside the 1, but this should come back. Ken Dollar, our replay official, has a good look at this one, and there is certainly enough evidence to overturn that call. It is conclusive.
Watch Beltran, number 88, right here, get in the way of the Texas Southern defenders, not allowing them to get up and make the tackle around the 5-yard line. Sometimes you have to do that. You don't have to make a great block. Just get in the way of your ball carriers and allow them to, get around you and make plays. When you've got athletes with the ball in space, you allow them to make plays.
Well, we expect this to be overturned, and when they do, it'll be 2nd down and goal inside the 1. You see where the left foot went out. Definitely before the ball crossed the goal line.
They've got to be looking to where to spot the football at this point, right, because that's obvious that he's out of bounds prior to getting to the pylon.
Well, at the half, Texas Southern led this game 17-6, but here in the 3rd quarter, it has been pretty much all Prairie View A&M with some help of some self-inflicted wounds by TSU. Now looking at the replay, it should be spotted inside the 1. Well, what's Texas Southern thinking right now? Because things have gone downhill in a hurry here in the 2nd half for them.
Well, you got to keep your composure. You can't worry about what you can't control. You can't change anything that's already happened. All you can do is affect what's going to happen. Right now, you're going to get your defense on the field. You've got to try and stop them from scoring 7 points. If anything, you want to come out of this drive with allowing only 3 points.
Matchup between the Jets.
Again, the replay definitely is conclusive enough to bring this back, and looks like it should be spotted inside the 1 at about what would be the half-yard line, where it will be 2nd down and goal for the Panthers.
I'll tell you one thing, if I'm Texas Southern coaching staff, I'm talking to Averion Hurts and asking him what he sees when he's out there at quarterback and trying to figure out something to get him going, because he's going to have to try and take you home if you're going to try and win this ball game.
All right, you've hit the nail right on the head there, Forrest Hammond, because Averion Hurts is going to play a key part if Texas Southern is going to come back in this game.
The ruling on the play, after further review, is that the call would be reversed. The ball would be spotted at the half-yard line. The clock will start on the referee's ready.
Well, it took a little while, but we did reach the conclusion that we thought we would eventually find ourselves at.
Now, right now, as an offensive lineman, you're basically getting down and bear crawling, because if you stand up, the defensive linemen are trying to uproot you, get at your legs, and not allow you to get pushed. Whoever comes off the ball first will win at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage.
Stephon McCray is the back. Green keeps it, goes left, and runs into the end zone. Touchdown. Trey Green, who had 7 rushing touchdowns a year ago for the Panthers, picks up his first rushing touchdown of 2016. So he's got that left knee brace, but I think some of the physical punishment he's taken tonight has caused him to have a little extra hitch in that walk. Houlihan's point after gives Prairie View A&M a 22-17 lead. Well, we got some big-time games this first week of the college football season. That's been apparent with all the great watches around college football. Coming up tomorrow, we'll have number 11 Ole Miss and number 4 Florida State. Of course, the Seminoles with Heisman hopeful running back Dalvin Cook. Coverage begins at 8 Eastern from Orlando and is streaming live as well on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. Take a look at our
position. We've got 3 special players this year in McCaffrey and Fournette and in Cook. It'll be interesting to see what Cook is able to do tomorrow night against that Mississippi defense. Ole Miss will come to play. You know those guys are ready to try and put their names in the hat for an SEC West and ultimately SEC championship. And Florida State is trying to put their names in the hat for an ACC championship. So it should be a great ball game.
Yeah, Ole Miss trying to help out the SEC. It's been a bit of a rough start to the season for the SEC. Mississippi State losing to South Alabama. Clemson beat Auburn last night. Southern Miss beat Kentucky. Wisconsin over LSU. Arkansas barely got by La Tech. Tennessee got a close call from Appalachian State as well. Hasn't been a great start for the SEC. It's run by Watts across the 20 up to the 24-yard line. Well, each team has been bitten by the turnover bug in this half.
We talked about Kristoff running the football as a quarterback, not protecting it. Green has been hit when he's delivering the football or been under pressure, not been able to step into his throws, and those have led to both of his interceptions. And once again, now you've got handoff issues with the new quarterback in Hurts, and now a high snap, trying to make a play for his ball club, gives up a safety, almost a touchdown.
Each team turned it over once in the first half. Each team has turned it over once so far here in the second half. Just under 9 minutes to go, third quarter. Hurts the quarterback for Texas Southern. Prairie View A&M has scored 17 points off of 3 Texas Southern turnovers, and Hurts sacked back at the 14-yard line by a trio of purple shirts, led though by number 95, Devon Reed. Texas Southern cannot get anything going here in the second half.
And once again, you see the effects of that 3-3-5 defense. They've got the linebackers walking up to the outside, the defensive ends crashing down, so the tackles make a decision to get those crashing defensive ends, and you give the linebackers, the outside linebackers, free range to come down the outside of the field. So if the tackles go out and block those outside linebackers, now you got the defensive ends with free range to the quarterback.
The sack, a loss of 10. It's second down and 20. 3 receivers up top for Hurts. Pressured again, dumps off the screen pass to Cook. Cook to the near sideline, and a stiff arm gets him to the 20. Singleton, cornerback, over to make the tackle. It's a gain of 6 for Cook.
And that's a good job by the middle linebacker. When you look at the 3-3-5 defense, when you've got those outside linebackers walking up, bringing pressure, The pressure on the defense lies on the middle linebacker. He has to be able to take care of all of that middle area and flow to the football. So that's a good job, not allowing the back to get up the field and get north and south.
3rd down and 14. 3 of 7 on 3rd downs tonight are the Tigers.
You see the defensive line, everybody's standing up. Right now, as an offensive lineman, you're trying to figure out who to block.
Offense, 5-yard penalty.
Delay a game on
3rd down.
TSU will cost him 5 yards.
And right now, they're confusing the Texas Southern offensive line. You've got linebackers walking up in outside gaps, then they're walking into the inside gaps. You've got defensive ends crashing down. Then you've got defensive ends coming on outside rushes. Right now, nobody's down. Nobody's got their hand down. So look at the offensive line. They've got to get their pre-snap reads to figure out who they've got to block.
Rush 5, Hurts back to his own end zone, runs out, let's go a throw, and a crowd is incomplete at the 40 for Mario Smalls, who had the defender right there at his hip, Will Skinner.
And Skinner did a good job of not losing contact with Smalls when Hurts broke contain. But once again, you saw the pressure. The offensive linemen are trying to find who to block. And when you bring blitz packages prior to the snap, when the offensive linemen are trying to decide and determine who they're going to block, it confuses them. Right now, this offensive line for Texas Southern is very confused with what type of pressure is coming to them and where it's coming from.
Bit of a high snap. Medina able to get good punt away, and Wiltz has to retreat all the way back to his 35, still giving ground. Almost a block in the back. He's out of bounds. Now they are going to throw the flag on that.
Well, that was pretty obvious. I'm wondering why the official that was right there didn't throw the flag.
So Wiltz gave a lot of ground anyway on that very good punt from Medina. They're going to cost themselves even more here with the push in the back on the return.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 27, number 37, correction on the return team. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
You see the official right here on it. He's looking right at him make the play, and he didn't make the call, and it looked like a second block in the back.
The second one looked like it was to the side, but the first one we saw definitely looked like a push in the back. So the penalty marked off. They begin at their own 18-yard line. Green swings it out, and that's batted down.
And now it's field position. You've got Prairie View A&M finally deep in their own territory. Now let's see if the Texas Southern defense can react. Good job reacting to Trey Green and getting the swat on the football.
It's Andre Dobbins batted that one away. Yeah, that's maybe the silver lining in this for us for Texas Southern. They're still 1 score away from reclaiming the lead here, even though things have really gone south for them here in the second half. Green's pass incomplete at the 30. That was Quentin Bell, the intended receiver, but the defender, number 19, Raheem McMorris, and the ball got to Bell right about the same time.
And a good job by McMorris making the play on the football, playing through the ball and not the receiver.
So a 3rd down and 10 for the Panthers.
The defensive backs at the bottom of the screen are playing way off the receivers. I understand you're not playing press man, but if you back up any, you're giving them the first down.
Yeah, it's only 3rd and 10. It's not 3rd and 25 here. Throw across the middle, a little underthrown and incomplete at the 30. For DeMarco Lestrap. He was beyond the marker, though. Had the catch been made, that would have been enough for the first down. But it's 4th down, and the Panthers will punt.
And what we said prior to the snap, because they were so deep with their coverage, all he had to do was run to the yard marker and turn around. Trey Green just didn't put enough on that football.
Matthew Butler back for Texas Southern to receive the punt from Houlihan. TSU should get some pretty good field position out of this, as Houlihan standing back at his own 3-yard line. And a whistle at the snap halts the play.
Prairie University has called their second charge timeout. 30-second timeout.
So the Panthers use their second timeout.
Okay, you gonna stay here with this timeout?
Well, here's what's ahead on the ESPN networks. Next weekend on the SEC alternate channel, SEC Plus, you can see Prairie View A&M going up the road to take on Texas A&M as those two schools meet.
There will be no TV
time.
timeout. Prairie View is charged with
Alabama State, Alcorn State. Another trip to Lorman, Mississippi as UAB takes on Alcorn. Alcorn will take on Arkansas on October 1st on the SEC Plus channel from Fayetteville. That's what's ahead involving the SWAC teams here on the ESPN networks. So Grambling State, of course, was the representative from the Western Division against Alcorn State in the SWAC championship last year. The preseason picks this year have Prairie View A&M to win the West, with Grambling second, Southern third, Texas Southern fourth. So Prairie View A&M just one timeout left now here in the second half. Punt away from Houlihan. Butler has to field that bouncing ball at his own 35, and just as he does, is swarmed under by that special teams play led by Marquise O'Leary. 45-yard punt for Houlihan with no return.
Ole Miss, Florida State, tomorrow at 8 on ESPN.
No other sports bar does college football like Dave & Buster's. Cheer on your team at the football destination that crushes the competition. With massive TVs and new games you can't find anywhere else. Watch the games and play the games at your football headquarters, Dave & Buster's.
Beard hair can be as strong as copper wire. The Gillette Mach 3 is precision engineered to cut hair this tough. No wonder it has the world's #1 selling blades. Mach 3, now as low as $10. Gillette.
Monday Night Football is back with a back-to-back.
Monday night, baby!
So take everything you love about Monday night and double it. Double the anticipation.
Ready to go, Coach? Everybody's watching on Monday night.
Double the debuts.
Monday night, man. That's why we out here.
Double the fire. Double the football.
It's Monday night. Monday night. Monday night, prime time.
Steelers, Redskins, and Rams 49ers. September 12th.
I was on heroin.
I used crack cocaine.
We are the Addiction Network. And if you have a problem with drugs or alcohol, you need to call the number on your screen now. Addiction is a disease, and you can't go it alone. The call is free, and so is the consultation. If you have private insurance, your treatment could be covered with no out-of-pocket cost. So call the Addiction Network now.
Call 800-859-4027.
Canadian bacon, Italian sausage, Spanish olives. It's like having the whole world in your hands and then in your mouth.
Order the Works Pizza or any large pizza for just $12. That's right, just $12 for any large pizza. Order now at papajohns.com.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
And start bidding today.
Over 6.5 minutes to go in the third quarter from Panther Stadium in its first ever game. 32nd Labor Day Classic. 22-17. The Panthers lead Texas Southern. The Tigers take over offensively. They've not had much success here in the second half. 9 plays that have gone for a negative 16 yards with a couple of turnovers. Varian Hurts rolling out right, sets up, but then he is sacked. Back at the 28-yard line, Devon Reed and others, which includes James Paul Bryant, an 8-yard loss.
And at this point, if you're Texas Southern, you've got to look at doing max protection for Hurts because he does not have time to set his feet to even look downfield. There's so much pressure coming on this offense.
So more negative yardage to add to the second half total for the TSU offense. Hurts has time to throw this time, but having to come back for the football was Derek Griffin. Out of bounds at the 35, just a 5-yard gain.
And once again, they're walking those linebackers up. They're coming at every gap of this offensive line. So if one person makes a mistake or makes the wrong read, Hurts has got a defender in his face immediately. They've got to be sound in their blocking technique right now.
3rd and 13. They rush 4. Hurts his pass right near the marker. Griffin a sliding catch, but I think where they're going to mark this, he's going to be a little bit short.
But for the first time, they didn't bring the blitz. He gave Hurts a little bit of time to deliver the football. He found his big target down the field.
And with the spot, they are short. It's going to be 4th and a little bit more than the length of the football from their own 46-yard line here.
Now, this is where the loss of Christoph Hurts at 6'4", 210 pounds, he can fall forward for that first down. Hurts being a smaller quarterback at 6'1", 195. Will they run a quarterback sneak? I think with Christoph in the game, this is easy first down for them. They run the quarterback sneak.
Texas
right now.
Has called their first charge timeout. 30-second timeout.
Play clock running down, so TSU will use a timeout.
Right now, they've got to think about what they want to do. What I don't want to see them do is put him in the shotgun and snap the ball back 3 or 4 yards when you only need a yard or a half a yard. If you're going to put him under center, make sure they do some quarterback center exchanges. I would do that right now on the sideline to make sure they're comfortable with that. And if you're going to run the ball, run a dive play with your back going north and south, coming downhill, as opposed to running something stretched to the outside and allowing these defenders, because what we've seen from Prairie View A&M is they've been hitting every gap. They're going to walk those guys up, and I think they're going to stand them up and move around so you don't know where they're coming from.
Forrest, I'm going to make the argument that they shouldn't go for it here, even though it's only 4th and less than a yard. Do you want to maybe play field position here, try to pin Prairie View A&M back in their own end? Because if you turn it over on downs here, the way the Panthers offense has been going in the second half, I know there's a lot of time left in this game, but it could be lights out.
But you're talking to an offensive line.
I know.
And it's a half a yard. And all that sled pushing in fall camp, this is what you do it for right here.
They're going to go for it, but he is not under center here, as you were talking about, Forrest. He keeps it, and he will get the first down. They fake the jet sweep to Cook, and they do run with the quarterback out of the gun, but he makes it.
And I think Prairie View's defense schemed themselves out of stopping that 4th down because they didn't get in the goal line defense. They had 3 down linemen, and they had guys standing up. When you're standing up, it's easy to get knocked back because the offensive lineman can get up under you.
That is the first down of the second half for Texas Southern. And it came on a 4th and short. They have a first down now at their own 49. Griffin is the receiver up top. Hurts fakes the inside handoff, taking a shot for Griffin, who bumped into the defender. We're going to say incidental contact with Singleton, no flag, and an incomplete pass. He also had help from the safety, number 33, Will Skinner.
And Will Skinner is slapping himself because he had an easy interception on that play. It almost looked like Will Skinner thought the interference call was going to be made. You see him right here. He's tracking the football, and this is why he's a safety and not a receiver because he should have caught that football. And you see Coach Simmons looking at him. He's very angry because that can turn this game around.
It keeps the TSU offense on the field for a 2nd down and 10. Hurts, where's he going to go with it? He'll pick up a couple yards across midfield to the 49 before he's run down by James Paul Bryant. Once again, you just look down for a moment, and Hurts is being chased by 3 or 4 purple jerseys.
I think Texas Southern should look at some crossing routes with some of their players in the slot. When you've got all this pressure coming, you've got a linebacker in the middle. You know, you've got some crossing routes going. The linebacker has to pick and choose where he's going to go. You've got to get rid of the football fast. Here's that scheme once again. You've got all the defenders standing up. They're not playing any particular gaps. Right now, the offensive lineman's got to make a decision.
They rush 4. Hurts unloads, complete at the 39. It'll be a first down reception for Austin Watts. Pickup of 11.
And the offensive lineman did a great job on that play of picking up where the defenders were coming from.
That's going to be a first down, Tigers.
Second first down on this drive for TSU, and their first 2 of this second half, with just over 2.5 minutes remaining third quarter. Texas Southern led 17-6 at the half. With Hurts under center, he'll hand it off to Cook, but coming around the edge was Damon Jackson. He was the first to get to him, and it's no gain. First down has not been kind to Texas Southern in this half. They've been unable to come up with much on first down. Nothing again on that first down call. 2nd and 10. Hurts will give to Cook. And weave his way through traffic.
Cook
he might have gotten a half yard, but Devon Reed and others there for Prairie View A&M.
And the left tackle, Jahil Mathis-Ellis, doesn't look very healthy out there. He's toughing it out right now. But I see him limping around after every play. He's kind of trying to regroup and get himself back together. He's their all-SWAC player, and you see him toughing it out for this ball club right now.
Griffin, the receiver, at the bottom of the screen. Once again, Singleton is the corner on him. It gives him a pushing this time on 3rd down and 10. Hurts being chased by Reed. He's going to take off across the 35, steps out of bounds about the 33. It's going to leave him about 4 yards shy of the first down.
And I thought Hurts had an opportunity to make a play on that. You know, he had himself and Damon Jackson out there. I thought if he would have came back inside, he could have gotten the necessary yards to get the first down.
Well, Eric Medina comes out. They're acting like they're going to attempt a 51-yard field goal here. Medina's longest a year ago was 38 yards. Tonight is 1 for 1. He made a 37-yarder. Now they're going to motion out of it. And on 4th down and 5, will snap to Mario Smalls, who throws back and finds a wide open receiver down the side to the 10-yard line.
And that's a great play. That's called, we used to call that the Gator play. If you watch the tight end, number 82, he's going to sneak down inside like he's blocking. And then as soon as the defender bites on him blocking, he's going to get outside. You see him right there, come across the formation, gets outside. Nobody goes with him because everybody's going to the other side of the field where the ball carrier is. Misdirection from against an aggressive defense. Great play call by the Texas Southern coaching staff.
And the reason we didn't mention number 82's name is he's not listed anywhere on the roster.
That's the secret weapon.
Illegal formation.
Oh, man.
Offense. Texas Southern did not have 5 linemen on the line, numbered 40, 49 to 79. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
When did this call come down?
A&M will decline it. They want the ball. It was 4th down.
Wow. So the penalty will erase all that, and dumbfounded Michael Haywood is saying, hey. Yeah, you can see that he's not happy with that call.
Very late penalty.
Well, they're going to review this play to take a look to verify and see if Texas Southern did indeed have enough men on the line of scrimmage or not. Well, as long as they're lined up, what is it, a yard from the football? 1, 2, 3.
And I think the big question is 82 breaking the plane of the center's butt? That's going to be one of the key issues. He's on the outside. Is he breaking the plane of the center's butt?
Well, just looking at that, you know, I can understand why Michael Haywood is upset with this call, and it has a legitimate argument.
Well, it was a funky formation, and I think that's what the confusion is. But I guarantee you this is something that they've practiced for a while, because they look very comfortable running this formation and running this play. And I'm sure that's one of the things that they talked about.
But as you just mentioned, I mean, Forrest, you played offensive line. So that, I don't want to call it an imaginary line, but as you described it, is he lined up level with the centers behind?
Yeah, you've got to break the plane at the center's waist.
But there has to be some gray area there. I mean, it's not a finite.
Well, the question is, do they have a straight line of sight to conclusively say or inconclusively say that he did not break the center's waistline?
By the way, we have identified number 82 as Orlando David, who's a senior tight end for Texas Southern. They actually changed his number. He was listed as 17 when he suited up in 82 tonight. Unfortunately, we didn't get word on that until just now, but this is a huge call here for us, because if it goes against Michael Haywood and Texas Southern, it will be 4th down again, and I assume they would punt.
This is the line right here. You see the center right here.
The previous location of the snap was on the 34-yard line. The 5-yard penalty would place it on the 39-yard line. 4th down.
Wow. Maybe it's just me, Forrest. That seems like a really hard call to make in that instance. And it's a huge call, because if Texas Southern has a 1st down and are driving, they have a chance with a touchdown to reclaim the lead.
Yeah, you know, I'm not going to second guess the officials, but I don't know about the call. But I'm not going to second guess them. That's their job, to make calls and to make sure that they're you know, correct formations out on the football field. I just didn't see what they called on that play.
Wow, what a turn of events with 30 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. It had looked, at least momentarily, like Texas Southern had successfully pulled off the fake and was going to have a 1st down deep in Prairie View A&M territory, but now they're going to have to line up for an actual punt with a different punter out this time, Donald Halstead. And a high short punt will land at the 18 and take a Texas Southern bounce to the 10, where it will be down there. So Halstead does his job with what will go down as a 29-yard punt, but does put the Panthers at their own 10-yard line. It's been a very potent Prairie View A&M offense here in the 2nd half, with a little help from some turnovers from Texas Southern. Green was able to foul Hodge and also run one in himself, and they'll get the ball back with a 5-point lead.
Can a car be crafted instead of produced? Designed with attention and care? give a feeling that stays with you. At Mazda, every detail matters. Because driving matters. The all-new 3-row Mazda CX-9.
Wildlife rescue workers open up a lot of Dawn. Tough on grease, yet gentle. Dawn helps open something even bigger. Go to facebook.com, Dawn Saves Wildlife.
A game that has endured a couple of weather delays due to lightning, totaling about 2.5 hours, has now made it to the fourth quarter. This 32nd Labor Day Classic. Prairie View A&M has the football from their own 10 and a 22-17 lead. Simmons across the 15 to the 16 for a gain of 6 on first down. Demetrius Johnson and Saphir Murphy to tackle TSU. Texas Southern led 17-6 at the half. With 16 unanswered points now for Prairie View A&M. And look at the numbers now for Green. The 2 picks. Remember, he had only 3 interceptions all of last year. Right now, his team does have the lead. Jet sweep, Simmons. Well read from the Texas Southern defense. Jamal Lucas and Demetrius Johnson.
And a great job by Lucas not going for the fake, staying right there with the offensive player.
Bring it up a 3rd and a long 2. Motion, Cameron Smith, the tight end, into the backfield. Giving a look to him, but now throws and off the hands. The strap had his mitts on it. Would have been a first down catch at about the 30, but could not hang on.
And once again, you've got to squeeze the football when it touches your hands. You know it's a wet ball. You know it's a heavy ball. You've got to squeeze that football. Trey Green's receivers have got to do a better job of helping him. He's delivering the football where it needs to be, but they've got to squeeze it.
So a 3 and out for Prairie View A&M. Austin Watts back right near midfield for Texas Southern to receive the Houlihan punt. Does the rugby-style punt in over end, and a fair catch called for and taken at the 40. 41-yard punt for Houlihan with no return. Early fourth quarter in the Labor Day Classic, and Prairie View A&M opening their new stadium leads it by 5.
To be a champion, you must win. 10 teams strive, but on Judgment Day, only one can rise. December 3rd in Houston, Texas. Be a part of the experience at the 2016 Toyota SWAC Football Championship in NRG Stadium. A champion will rise. Visit www.swac.org for more information.
Thanks for staying with us tonight. The opening game for Panther Stadium in Prairie View, Texas. Panthers lead Texas Southern 22-17. Still 13:28 left in the fourth quarter. As TSU takes over after the punt at their own 41-yard line. Hurts fakes the handoff. Lets it go across the middle. Griffin. Using that 6'7" frame. Reached up to get a hand on it. Could not come away with it.
And they had exactly what they want. They got Griffin on a skinny post in front of the safety, so the safety wasn't able to make a play on that football. If Griffin is able to get possession of the football, he may still be running. You see Griffin right here, skinny post right in front of the safety and the cornerback. All he has to do is catch that football, and if he's able to get away from the defensive back, Terrence Singleton, he might still be running.
Second look at that. Definitely the pass was high, as even the 6'7" Griffin had to leap for that. Now Griffin goes in motion to the far side, running left side. Tyler Cook still going, getting a little help from the right tackle Moore to push him forward all the way up across the 40-yard line of Prairie View A&M.
And the one thing about the 3-3-5 defense is once you get past the first level defenders, you've got smaller guys, linebackers. They have to make plays. When you walk them up to the line of scrimmage to bring pressure, you don't have as many guys in the second level to make the defensive play. You see the middle linebacker right now. If they get to the second level, he's the only one there.
Hand off again to Cook. Fights his way for about 4 yards to the 36. That was number 29, Raleigh Johnson, the safety, who came up there late to put the last hit on him.
And that's what they have to do. When you've got guys getting to second level defenders, these safeties have got to fly up and make them pay for it. Once again, when you've got all these guys on the line of scrimmage on the defensive line, these safeties have got to come up. Now, can Texas Southern run some play action off of that and catch these safeties looking in the backfield?
Motion Cook out of the backfield. And a design run for Hurts. He'll be close to the first down, if not have it after a run of 7 up to the 29.
And great job by the center and the left guard, Jimmy Williams and Corey Griner. They got pushed, which allowed the right guard, Nick Mouton, to get around and lead Hurts up through the hole to get that first down.
Lead first down, TSU from the 29 of the Panthers. Cook really had to fight his way just to get a couple of yards. There were a couple of Panthers that had a chance to get him in the backfield. Harper eventually bringing him down for the gain of 2. Well, about an hour or so drive from here in Austin, Texas. The game between Notre Dame and Texas has just ended with the Longhorns winning 50-47 in 2 overtimes. High snap, and Hurts has it. He calls his own number again. Just outside the 25 and gains a couple. Give him about 3 on that. And we're still looking here, Forrest. If TSU can punch this in, they can take the lead again. And they've been so non-existent offensively here in the second half, but still are in this game.
And right now, Hurts has to realize you don't have to get it all right now. You know, all you need is about 7 yards for the first down.
A 3rd and 7 call. Griffin up top, and that way is Hurts. Throws it in his direction, first down. He got tripped up inside the 15. Well, Griffin had a chance to catch and maybe run to the end zone, but a gain of 11, first down, TSU.
And the offensive line is doing a better job of picking up the blitz. Too much room on this play. You've got a 9-yard cushion, so in the defensive back backs up, he retreats at the snap of the football. You've got to take a step up. Griffin doesn't have to do anything but run to the sticks, turn around, and look for the football.
First down, Tigers from the 15 of Prairie View A&M. Clock running. Just a little over 9.5 minutes left.
Press man on the bottom.
Cook, the jet sweep. Late flag comes in after no gain. Trying to get Cook out in space, but there wasn't much space there on the edge. Trying to apply with a face mask.
Face mask. Number 95 on the defense. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
So Devon Reed called for the face mask. And it'll be 1st and goal, Texas Southern from just outside the 7-yard line.
Now I go heavy formation to the boundary. Put Derek Griffin down here on the field, the wide side of the field, and throw him a fade route. First down. Why not?
They indeed do put Griffin here to the near side, the wide side of the field.
Fade route right here.
Where he's matched up one-on-one with Singleton. Don't even look in his direction. Hand it off to Cook. Cook breaks a tackle inside the 5. Pushed out of bounds. At about the 1. And Jalen Williams.
Or I hand it off to Cook to the left side.
And use your 6'7" guy as a decoy on the other.
As a decoy. And let him run it down to the 1.5-yard line.
Yeah, that might work too. Second down and goal. 9 minutes to go. And here's Texas Southern trying to reclaim the lead. Nobody covering Griffin down here now. Late they do. A flag comes out.
Flags on the play.
And it may not have been set. That's why there's no need to go hurry up.
And this could cost TSU 5 important yards right here. Or
offside. 95 defense, number 95 lined up in the neutral zone.
Wow.
That penalty decline.
Touchdown.
Results of the play. Touchdown.
Well, Devon Reed offside. That's the second time tonight that the Panthers have had a defensive player called offsides. And this one results in the touchdown for Hurts.
Now, if I'm Texas Southern, I want to go for 2 points here because kicking a field goal does nothing, or extra point does nothing. You've got a 1-point lead. Go for the 2-point conversion. That way you put yourselves up 3.
Absolutely. I think it's late enough in this game with 8:55 to go that you go for 2. Let's take a look at the play again. I mean, Hurts definitely got in.
Somebody's got to be talking about this if you're Texas Southern. You're only up 2 if you kick the extra point.
Well, I think the officials are talking about reviewing the play to make sure that Hurts got in. It's the reason the official is standing over the ball. I mean, from that, it looks like Hurts got in for sure.
Yeah.
Well, maybe this is enough to give TSU some time to figure out, hey, we need to go for 2 here.
Yeah, I mean, this actually is working out in their favor because the coaching staff had an opportunity to say, hey, guys, why kick an extra point? We're only up 2.
So they bring the offense back out onto the field to go for 2 to try to make this a 3-point game. Tyler Cook and Tevin Jones are the backs. Tony Upchurch wide left. He goes in motion. Hurts throws it back far side and has him wide open for the 2-point conversion to Mario Smalls, the tight end. And it is indeed now a 3-point lead for the Tigers.
Timeout.
And once again, they catch an over-aggressive defense with a misdirection play. Great job by Hurts, waiting for the pressure to get to him and delivering a strike.
It's a 3-point game with 8:53 to play.
Your accent is adorable.
Thank you.
Say tomato.
Tomato.
Tomato. What again?
Tomato.
Tomato. Is that right? It's the A. You know,
no, Winter.
Well, this big-time opening weekend of college football is not over. Tomorrow, we still have number 11 Ole Miss and number 4 Florida State. Coverage begins at 8 Eastern from Orlando and streams live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. Prairie View A&M had scored 16 unanswered points before the very odd Hurts 2-yard touchdown run and 2-point conversion has given Texas Southern a 3-point lead with 8:53 remaining. The 32nd Labor Day Classic, the opener of the SWAC conference season between these two rivals that have been playing since 1946. From the goal line, Joshua Simmons at the 20, knocked down at the 22 by by Raheem McMorris.
And we talked about momentum. It's going back and forth. Now the momentum is on the Texas Southern sideline. Can their defense come up with some big plays? First down is key for Texas Southern. You don't want to allow Prairie View to get 4 or 5 yards and put them in second and short. You want to dictate what they do offensively by what you do defensively.
Four receivers for Trey Green. In motion, Darius Floyd. Green rolling out. And hits his man, the aforementioned Darius Floyd, who runs down the sideline for a first down up to the 35-yard line and a 13-yard gain. Quickly back up to the line. This little huddle hurry-up offense for Prairie View A&M. Floyd now here on the near side. That screen pass. And they're now going to say it's incomplete. And it hit the ground.
Well, he one-hopped it. And Green's got to do a better job of stepping through on those throws, putting a little bit more on the football.
17 on the Panthers.
You see right there, Green didn't put enough on that football. Step into that throw. Put some air under the football.
Green with time. Crossing route for Hodge. Bangs his way across the 40 up to the 44. And gains 9 yards.
What these crossing routes are allowing Prairie View A&M to do is get the ball to their playmakers on the run. You've got defensive backs and and outside linebackers and trail techniques trying to cover these receivers.
Third down and 1. The way there's folks on the field, obviously somebody's called the timeout here. And we have an injured player that is down. And now help to his feet. The Monday Night Football is back September 12th. The annual doubleheader to cap off week 1 begins at 6:55 Eastern. As the Steelers take on the Redskins, then at 10:15 it's the West Coast matchup. Rams are back in Los Angeles. They take on the 49ers. Game actually in San Francisco. First game back for the Rams. Coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown at 5 Eastern on ESPN. Coming up soon.
Yeah, that injured player was Raheem McMorris. He was able to get up and walk off with the help of some of the team trainers, which is good for Texas Southern. You hate to see a player get hurt, especially at this part of the ball game.
And their starting cornerback. Third and short for the Panthers. 3rd and 1 from their 44. Opening game at Panthers Stadium, $65 million facility, opening here officially today with its first ever game. And home team Panthers down by 3 with 8 minutes to go.
And you got a true freshman in replacing Raheem McMorris, number 5, Andre Joseph.
Jet sweep, Simmons running right. Doesn't get much, but enough for the first down, gaining 2 on 3rd and 1, pushed out by Sean Jones.
Let's see if Prairie View A&M identifies the true freshman Andre Joseph and tries to go after him. Down at the bottom of your screen.
Here's Joseph, number 5. Defending DeMarco Lestrap. Looking that way. Throw. Lestrap. First down at the 39 at TSU. 15-yard gain.
Good job by Lestrap finding a hole in the zone, sitting down, allowing his quarterback to find him.
Andrew Joseph. And Prairie View back in front.
And I wondered would they identify that, and they did. They got the double move on him. Great job by the coaching staff, seeing that they had a true freshman in the ball game, going with the double move, and a good job by Kadero Hodge of selling it on that double move, and a better job by Trey Green of laying the ball out and putting it where all he had to do was run up under it.
39-yard touchdown reception for Hodge, and a flag before the snap.
Illegal substitution on the defense. 12 men in the formation. Half the distance to the goal. Still the try.
3 TDs a year ago for Hodge. And he has his second of the night tonight. And a 9-yard touchdown reception earlier in this second half. Point after good for Owen Houlihan, and it's a 4-point lead for the Panthers. Well, they saw an opportunity, Forrest, go after the young guy. They did just that. Hodge beats the freshman Joseph, and the Panthers back in front. Kadero Hodge's second touchdown catch of the game has given us our 4th lead change tonight, and it's the home team Panthers opening their new stadium here tonight. They're in front by 4 with 7:07 to play. Owen Houlihan kicking off for the Panthers. Austin Watts, Brad Woodard back deep. Texas Southern. Trey Green on that last drive for the Panthers goes 5 of 6, 78 yards, and the 39-yard touchdown pass to Hodge. This is Watts. Reaches the 25. We'll get up near the 28-yard line. Take another look at the Hodge TD catch to give Prairie View the lead again.
You saw him go with the double move. Joseph got caught looking in the backfield. Easy pitch and catch for Prairie View A&M. Good job by Green, not putting too much on the football. All Hodge had to do was run under the football and make a play.
Well, let's see how Texas Southern responds. They put together their best drive of this second half in their last possession, but they're not going to have as good a field position as it looked like they would have with that return, because a flag did come out on the return, and the Tigers are going to have to begin at their own 7-yard line. Hurts running on first down. Puts the shoulder down and gets up all the way up to the 13-yard line, where he's met by Dominic Weaver in a 6-yard gain.
And good job by the left guard, Corey Griner, getting around the end and pulling and opening up a hole for Hurts to get up in there and get positive yards.
Hurts 5 of 10 through the air since replacing injured quarterback Jake Kristoff, who left due to injury late in the first half. Quick strike to Griffin. He has a first down up to the 23. Once again, Singleton covering him, but a 9-yard gain, a first down for the Tigers. Terrence Singleton, who's transferred from Baylor, he has been locked up all night on Derek Griffin. Lets it go and finds his man once again. Larry Clark sits down at the 33, right near the marker.
And Hurts has seemed to found himself a rhythm He's doing a good job of locating his receivers. They're sitting down, making themselves big targets for him, and catching the football.
Is enough for the first down for Texas Southern with under 5.5 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter.
Let's go.
Lots of time, but now that time elapsing as Reed breaks free and gives chase, and Hurts is going to run to the sideline and step out up near the 38.
Run out of bounds.
Goes for 5 yards.
Jackson.
And that's a good job by Hurts. Sometimes when the play is not like it's supposed to be drawn, not like it's drawn up, you just run out of bounds, get as much as you can, and live to make another play. Sometimes guys try to make plays out of nothing and put themselves in a bad position. I think if he would have tried to throw that football, he could have put it up for grabs. He got 5 yards, which I thought was a positive outcome.
He made a great point, though, for us. These last couple of possessions, Hurts has looked a lot more comfortable, hasn't he? Gives it off. Cook. The flag flies back at the 36.
Holding. 72. Offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Second down.
That's guard Corey Griner called for the hold.
Let's watch number 72. Big fella on the inside. You cannot grab the outside of the defender and drag him down to the ground.
How many times did you hear that in your playing career?
Well, you know, I had some really good feet, so I didn't do a lot of holding.
No, I'm not saying you were holding. I'm just saying your coaches were reminding you.
Oh, absolutely. You got to move your feet. In this part of the game, guys are tired. He's a big player, 6'4", 333 pounds. So you got to wonder if he's getting tired out there and not keeping it. You got to keep your feet moving.
Hurts throws it away.
On that play, the defender got inside leverage on him, and you see him trying to drag him down. That's when you extend on him, use those mittens, extend those arms, try and push him out the play. Allow the back to make a play off of you. But you see guys with their hands on their hips. This is a part of the ball game where you got to suck it up. It's the fourth quarter. This is a drive that you need.
Been a long night. A couple of weather delays due to lightning. We put about 2.5 hours of downtime for these players tonight. 3rd and 15. Hurts, Griffin, undercut and well shy of the marker by Terrence Singleton.
The Singleton did a good job of going low on the big fella, Derek Griffin. You want to get him down. If you go up high on him, he's got enough power in his upper body to knock you off.
Singleton, who played 13 games for Baylor last year, originally said he was going to transfer to Lamar, but as it worked out, he winds up with Prairie View A&M.
Now, with Texas Southern deciding to punt on this play, if you're Prairie View A&M, when you get the football back, do you continue to go with that fast-paced offense, or do you slow it down and get in the huddle?
Well, that's the key question. My gut reaction is to say slow it down, but
delay of game. Offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
But if that's your offense knows that speed, then that's what you go with. Where do you fall down on that side of the argument?
I think you run the ball 4 times. You try and get the first down. You make them use their 2 timeouts. So if they do get the ball back, at that point, you know, they don't have any timeouts and they're in a rush offense trying to put score on the board.
After the 5-yard delay, a game penalty. All spotted back at the Texas Southern 30. Anthony Wiltz is back at the Panthers 30-yard line to receive this punt. He's calling for the fair catch and takes it at the 28. 3:15 left in this opening game ever at Panther Stadium in Prairie View, Texas. And the home team Panthers have the 4-point lead and the ball when we come back.
Beard. ESPNU College Football is presented by McDonald's. I'm loving it. And in part by Dr. Pepper. It's a college football tradition.
Well, it's been a tradition for Texas Southern and Prairie View A&M to play in the Labor Day Classic and open up SWAC play. They've done so here tonight despite 2 weather delays encompassing about 2.5 hours. 3:15 left. Prairie View A&M has a 4-point lead and the ball from their own 28. And a handoff straight ahead to Javonte Ham. So perhaps this is what you were talking about for us. This is how they, in a way, slow themselves down by play calling and keeping it on the ground.
And they're going to take their time. They're going to let the play clock wind all the way down. They're going to force Coach's hand to call a timeout.
Texas Southern with 2 timeouts remaining.
Coach Hayward's going to have to make a decision. He's either going to call a timeout or let the time run off the clock.
Let's see where they snap the ball on the play clock here. Still 8. Green keeping an eye on it. Let it get down to 3 before he keeps. Fakes on the zone read. Kept it, and he's all the way across the 40 for a first down.
You see, that's where it hurts when you don't take the timeout. Now he's got a first down. So whatever the result of this play, I think Coach Hayward has to take a timeout now. You want to get a stop on that second down, have third down, and then take the timeout. Now with the first down, you got to take the timeout. You got to use your last 2.
Green let the play clock get all the way down to 3 before snapping that last play. He does so again here. This time he does hand it off to Javonte Ham. No gain. Clock still running. Texas Southern has not used one of those last 2 timeouts.
And I understand the philosophy. You want to get to third down before you use it, but you're not going to have any time left on the clock. Right now, it'll be probably almost at a minute left in the game.
By the time the next play finishes, yep.
And Texas Southern is going to have to score a touchdown to take the lead in this ball game.
Yeah, field goal wouldn't do them any good. Green keeping. Darius Stapleton there. And with 1:04 left, Texas Southern will use one of those last 2 timeouts.
Timeout. Texas Southern. Second charge, timeout.
And it is going to bring up a 3rd down and 13. So if the Texas Southern defense can hold here and force a punt, they can use that last timeout to stop the clock. And perhaps this obviously forces best case scenario for the Tigers. They get the ball back with around 50 seconds remaining, somewhere around that.
And if you're Prairie View A&M, I don't care what type of defense they put on the field, you run the football. And you tell your ball carriers, if you don't have the first down, don't worry about trying to make a play. Stay in bounds, hold on, and protect the football.
Prairie View A&M will be in College Station next weekend, taking on Texas A&M, a game you can see on SEC Plus, the alternate channel. And then back into SWAC play, going to Alabama A&M on September 17th. They will come home after a trip to Itabena on the 24th. They'll play Grambling here. That'll be the next home game here at the new Panther Stadium on October 1st. Okay, 3rd down and 13. 1:04 to go. Line to gain is the 48. Jet sweep. Simmons. Only a yard or so. Jamal Lucas with the tackle, and Texas Southern will use their final timeout with 57 seconds left. Well, under a minute to go in this game, but still we have time to take a look at tonight's Bringing the Flavor, brought to you by McDonald's. Opening game, first one ever at Panther Stadium.
Texas
Got to
Southern.
give the fans,
Texas Southern has
the
used its third and final timeout.
players, everybody involved here, a lot of credit to two weather delays involving lightning. Because here we are, what about 6 hours past what was going to be the original kickoff time, and have made the best of it. And as it's turned out for us, it's been a very entertaining game between these two rivals.
Very entertaining. I expect a lot out of this Texas Southern ball club the rest of this season. You know, you talk about a ball club that's got a whole new coaching staff, a whole new philosophy. They came out to play. They came out to win this ball game, and it's not over yet. They're one big play away from pulling off an upset. Prairie View A&M has to come out and play some good defense. But first, they have to get this punt away.
That's right. First game for new Texas Southern coach Michael Haywood, a Houston native. Texas Southern will be coming after this punt. Houlihan gets it away. Watts lets that bounce. It's going to take him. Texas Southern roll back across the 40 to the 41 where it's down. So the field position not too bad really for Texas Southern after just a 22-yard punt. And 51 seconds left, but Texas Southern again without a timeout.
What Prairie View A&M wants to do is if they're going to allow Texas Southern to get possession of the football down the field, they want to keep them in the field to play. They're going to leave the middle of the field open. That's where they want them to go with the football. They don't want to allow them to get to the sideline and be able to get out of bounds and stop the clock.
Well, keep an eye up top for Derek Griffin. He could be one big play away from having Texas Southern steal this game late. Defended by Singleton, who has some safety help there over the top. Hurts on first down, given ground, gets out of the pocket and throws it away. Akeem Barton was the closest in the pursuit of Hurts. And they ate a little time off the clock down to 44 seconds.
Well, what's going on those plays is both tackles are opening their outside shoulders prematurely, giving a short corner to the defensive ends, allowing them to get up the field and get pressure on the quarterback. As an offensive tackle, you've got to get 3 kick steps back. Then you're able to turn and open that shoulder and run the defender past the quarterback.
Hurts brought down at the 40. There was a lot of pressure. Trayvon Billings with the tackle right near the line of scrimmage. I thought I saw a hole on the far side. It didn't get called. They were coming gangbusters from all areas.
Left tackle definitely held on that play. You see him holding again, and the defender threw his hand up. They didn't call it.
That one up for grabs. The flag is out again.
Yeah, I think they had to call it on that play. He blatantly grabbed his shoulder and tugged him down.
So it's down to 19 seconds, and after this penalty, it's going to be 4th and long, and with the penalty, 3rd down still.
55, offense. 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay, 3rd down.
If you watch the left tackle, watch at the snap of the ball. He opens that outside shoulder immediately, giving a short edge to the defensive end, ultimately grabbing him and dragging him down. That was so blatant, right in front of the official. He had to call that.
So they accept the penalty, so it's 3rd down. Back at the 30, 3rd and 20 with 19 seconds to go. Hurts again in big trouble. Can't get rid of it as Billings sacks him. No timeouts to stop it, and that's probably going to do it. They're not even going to get a chance to get the 4th down playoff. And Prairie View A&M defends their new home turf, Panther Stadium, with a 29-25 win over Texas Southern in the Labor Day Classic.
Great ball game by the team that everyone expects to be there in the end, and by this upstart Texas Southern program with Coach Mike Haywood. You see this ball club and what they bring to the table. And I think as they continue to play with one another and play in this Coach Haywood system, they'll get better and better. They have nothing to hold their heads down about.
Texas Southern did have a 17-6 lead at the half. Prairie View A&M scored 16 unanswered points in the third quarter to take the lead. Texas Southern came back with a score in the fourth quarter to go up 25-22, but the Hodge 39-yard touchdown catch, his second of the game, turned out to be the game winner, and the Panthers win it by 4. So that's now 10 of the last 12 years Prairie View A&M has won this Labor Day Classic against Texas Southern, but the Tigers still lead the overall series 21 wins to 11. Well, it took a while to get here, partner, but we reached the end of this game, and it finishes with a Prairie View A&M win on their home field, their brand new home turf, which I'm sure is something that was, if not in the back of their mind, in the front of their mind this entire night to win game one here on this field.
And I tell you what, the fans for both teams were absolutely wonderful. They stayed around, they stuck it out through all of the lightning delays, through everything, and supported both of these ball clubs. So I applaud both fan bases tonight.
So the Durley Nix Trophy has come out. It will be awarded to Prairie View A&M. And the Panthers keep the hardware. So the head coach Mike Willie Simmons go by and say, hey, hang on to the trophy for a little bit. We got to go down and have a little party with the band. We'll see what the marching storm's up to. So Prairie View A&M wins it 29-25 over Texas Southern. They win the 32nd annual Labor Day Classic. A couple of weather delays due to lightning that totaled about 2.5 hours, but the home team able to win it, and they take it over Texas Southern. For our entire crew, Forrest Conley, I'm Mark Neely. Thanks so much for sharing this one with us. Good night from Prairie View, Texas.